you, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wah 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 wah. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Mix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up.
Let me up on the stage. How y'all doing? Hello. Happy hump day. Come on in. Welcome to the Morning Joe. Shout out to everybody in the building. Come on in. Okay? Shout out to everybody in the building. Happy Wednesday. Y'all, I hope y'all are doing well, as am I. It's a beautiful morning where I'm at. Hopefully it's a beautiful morning where you are. And if it is, make sure you go outside and get you some sun. Welcome to the Morning Joes. I'm your girl, Voodoo Doll TV, and I am your host. We do this Monday through Friday, so make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel. And speaking of subscribing to the channels, welcome to all the new subscribers. I know I have almost 1,000 new people that have been here since the last 2-3 weeks. So welcome to each and every one of y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying me thus far, and I hope that y'all stick around and, for a little bit longer. But this is the Morning Joes. And we got a lot to discuss this morning or today, because it don't really be morning. But either way, we got a few things to discuss. So y'all come on in. Before we do that, let's get the morning announcements out the way. First morning announcement. Ground, meditate, and pray. Black America, we are in heavy, deep spiritual warfare. Please do some grounding. Get outside. Let your feet touch the soil. Do some grounding. Go touch a tree, hug a tree, touch grass. Do something to ground your energy. You know what I noticed too with grounding? Did you guys know that grounding repels off witchcraft? Did y'all know that? So when you're grounding your energy and people are actively putting out spell work, any sort of witchcraft, any sort of gossip, juju, whatever it is, if you stay grounded, then it is hard for that stuff to stick to you. So please, y'all, ground, meditate, and pray. It has so many what's the word I want to use? Grounding has so many advantages. Is what I want to say. It has so many advantages, but you won't know it until you start getting outside. Start off with 3 minutes, 5 minutes, because I know we've been disconnected from Earth for so long. For a lot of us, it's going to take a lot for us to be able to disconnect from the phones and things of that nature. But start with 60 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever you need to start with, but try to gradually get it to where you're doing at least 15 minutes a day of actually sitting out there grounding and meditating and praying. Okay, so please, y'all, ground, meditate, and pray. Also, genealogy. Y'all already know what time of day it is. You have to do your genealogy. It is very imperative. If y'all don't do nothing, you have to do genealogy. You need to know who you are, where you came from, and who are the people that came before you. There's ancestors literally waiting for each and every one of y'all to tap in. They waiting on y'all. Okay? They think, somebody say I'm about to start grounding. I think my baby mama's a witch. She might be. That's, I think that's the hard conversation that most people don't want to have. A lot of our parents, spouses, siblings, friends, a lot of them is witches. Yay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you from a can of paint. And maybe she's not, but it's a high probability that she is. I'm going to be real. Because let me tell you something. And this ain't nothing specific to this person. This is to all of y'all. Y'all be surrounded by witches and warlocks. And don't even know it. Yeah, because I was also surrounded. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when the man said, I think my baby mama a witch, I wasn't being mean or being funny. I was being dead ass, because there's so many witches and warlocks around us, but because we don't believe in it, we don't know that it's happening. So you might be right. Your baby mama might be a witch. She might be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get outside and ground, man. Take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. All you're doing is putting your feet to the earth. And while you're grounded, let me just say this too to y'all. While y'all out there grounding, don't just sit there looking crazy. Take that time to start manifesting. Take that time to start thinking about things you want to correct in your life. Take that time to start thinking about what you want, how you want to live, what you want in your future, for your children, for yourself, for your job. Start taking that time. It's not just for you to just be out there just to say you win. You see what I'm saying? It's not for that. It's really for you to take that time to recharge, connect with the earth, and fix some things and manifest some things. So please take that time to do that. So, okay? So all y'all really need to be grounded, to be completely honest. If you on here and you on ground, you late. You hella late, okay? So please ground, meditate, and pray. Y'all ground, meditate, and pray. Also, genealogy, like I said, make sure y'all do the genealogy to find out who you are and where you came from, the identity of the people that came before you. Because like I said, the ancestors are waiting for you. Now, we got a show today, but before we get into that, y'all, there's a link pinned to the chat. VoodooDollTVShop.com. If you guys would like to support the dog, get you some My Ancestors Don't Play About Me merch, or get you some Babe merch, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link that's pinned to the chat. That's where you can support the dog if you would like to support the dog. That's VoodooDollTVShop.com. That is VoodooDollTVShop.com. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we got a few things to discuss. Let's start off with the thumbnail. Black Americans being the most successful business people in the world. Let's go with America, okay? Black Americans being the most successful people in America and not knowing it. We're going to get into that. We also going to get into, somebody said that FBA is a Psyop because we don't want to support all businesses. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Let them drag, okay? We'll get into that. We also need to get into Dr. Candice. I did a little slight research. It wasn't much. I just read a few sentences on her. And apparently, outside of almost getting her ass whooped at the club or at a restaurant or something or whatever the case, she's really a op. We're going to get into Dr. Candice. Also, we got to get into Muni Long, who said she had a double lung transplant. Bitch, y'all was taking whole lungs out. Oh my God. We got to get into that. Sickle cell. They say they got a cure. I don't believe it. Black Americans, don't go over there messing with them people with that sickle cell. We'll get into that. And obviously, we're going to get into Tariq Nasheed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, we will. You know, I started to put him on the thumbnail. It was between him and Dr. Candice. But you know what I said to myself? Nah, Tariq got too big of a following. And I know the FBA niggas gonna come over here and swarm like the beehive, and they gonna want my head off my shoulders. Now, this is the gag. I don't care, because none of you niggas scare me. You see what I'm saying? And some of you niggas are waking up, some, not all, very few of y'all are waking up to the play. But I saw something, shout out to my subby, who sent me the timestamp of Tariq specifically not checking Godfrey for having a podcast that allows all these Africans to come on this platform and drag for the Black Americans. Tariq refuses to check Godfrey because according to Tariq, him and Godfrey is cool. They cool. That's what Tariq said. Tariq was like, oh, yay, I'm off of FBA, but not against Godfrey. That's my boy. What? And shout out to every single body in the chat. Because when I went down the doggone chat, the replay game, the comments, 99% of the people were calling Tariq out on it, and we're gonna discuss it. Y'all come on in. Yeah, we're gonna discuss Oprah talking about Whitney too. Y'all come on in, get the likes up on the video. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's jump off the porch. We got so much going on today. It's just so much going on. Y'all get the likes up, man. Hold on, let me read the super chat. Kinderin624, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Voo, it's a real Acorn birthday. I'm celebrating Joce with the dog, grounding and going to a premiere for a movie I'm in. Let me find out you a whole celebrity on here. You in a movie, you an actor and all of that. You be acting. All right. It says, love y'all. And if y'all F with me, go listen to my album, Ken of Hearts by King Ken. Let me write this down because I'm going to see what they talking about. I'm going to see what you over here talking about. I love me a good album. Ken of Hearts. Hold on. Ken of Hearts by King Ken. King Ken. Go check you out. Thank you, Kinderin and King Ken, and congratulations on the movie. Congratulations on the album. But most importantly, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ken. I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, year, whatever. Just have an amazing time. And it looked like you already doing that. Congratulations, honey. Thank you so much for the support. And I really, really do appreciate and love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. See, I got successful people over here. Girl, I don't be no just regular, random, regular, everyday, schmegular, degular people. Girl, please. Girl, I got presidents over here. Trump might be in the chat. Trump, drop a 3 in the chat, Trump. Let them hoes you be over here. Girl, please, everybody be over here. Girl, y'all is crazy. Y'all is crazy. At any rate, happy birthday to Ken. Now, we going to jump right into the show because we got a lot to discuss today, y'all. We got a lot going on. It's a lot. If y'all haven't noticed, I am back at the dollhouse, and I did do Malone Madness Monday over there last night. So if you are interested, y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Let's jump out the window with Muni Long since she was the first one popped up. She's not an honorable mention, but we gonna jump out the window with her. Now, y'all, Muni Long is the girl that sang because they put a bounce beat to it. Oh, she the girl that sang cause you were made for me. The smell of your perfume. I thought I was immune. I be rocking it. I be rolling in the car. They got a bounce beat on it. Y'all got to see it. But anyway, Muni Long, the singer and writer, she writes and sings for a lot of people from what they say. Apparently, she got sick. Now, I do remember she got sick a while back, and I remember she kind of fell off the scene because I know she was on there hollering about people stealing music and trying to get her to be a writer for y'all remember that when she was talking about how the industry wanted her to write songs for people who really not artists and she refused. It was a lot going on with Muni Long, okay? So, okay, Muni Long then right after that, it seems to me, because I wasn't paying much attention to her, but it seems like right after that, she started being sick. Now, I heard, does she have lupus or something like that? I do know she do suffer with an illness, but then when I saw that she had a double lung transplant, I was of confusion because I'm like, how the hell did we get here? So apparently she fell ill with some other stuff, and now it has escalated from what I know, because again, I haven't been following her, so please, I don't want to misgive y'all this story. Misgive, that's not even a word, but I don't want to give y'all the wrong information on the story. But from what I saw, because I hadn't followed much of her journey, she did come out one day saying that the industry wanted her to write for people who aren't real artists and singing all kinds of stuff, and she refused. I do know she did suffer from some sort of illness, which is, I think it's lupus, don't get me the line, or something like that. And then it seemed like shortly afterwards, and again, I'm saying it seemed because I don't follow her, it seems like shortly after she started having a lot of health complications, okay? So when I saw this double lung transplant, I was like, what in the world is happening? So let's get into it. It says, Muni Long says she underwent a double lung transplant after doctors told her she only had 1 week to live. It says, during an interview with Good Morning America, Muni Long encouraged listeners to take care of themselves after saying she was faced with her mortality During her battle with lupus, she revealed that she underwent a double lung transplant after her exit from the Boy Is Mine tour. The artist was diagnosed with systemic lupus erythematosus in 2014. I don't know what that is. It says Long mentioned that following her tour exit, she went home for Thanksgiving before waking up in the hospital afterwards. However, she then received a prognosis from doctors who told her she only had 1 week to live. My jaw dropped. Literally, I was like, that's rude. But they were kind of like, this is not a joke. You need to make a choice. You can either go to hospice or you can get these lungs, she recalled. She underwent the operation nearly 6 months ago and is now feeling better. Oh, that was 6 months ago. She revealed that her voice is now totally different. Ooh. It's actually better, should I say? But I don't know that I can perform yet. They gave me 6 months. Y'all. I'm gonna say what I was thinking when I heard the story. Them people probably did something to that girl. Yeah, I think they took her voice. Nanny. I'm with you, Nanny. They did something to her. This young girl needed a double lung transplant. A lung transplant, but let alone a double lung transplant. I ain't never known nobody with lupus to have to go get both of their lungs taken out and replaced. I ain't never known that. Something in this milk ain't clean, bro. And then this is what they do. This is what I learned about the hospital. They'll tell you you got 1 week to live and give you that prognosis to scare you into submission. I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm not no doctor. I'm just telling y'all what I be seeing. But they will come to you and give you a prognosis and say, you need to make a decision like right now or you're going to die. And that's how people get caught up. That's how they got me to be okay with the doggone C-section when I was having my baby. Them people let my baby, her heart rate kind of climbed a little bit, and they ran to my bedside and was like, if you don't undergo an emergency C-section, you or the baby or both of y'all could die. So look at me. Oh my God. Yes, do the C-section. Turns out before they could even cut me, her heart pressure wasn't even, or her pressure or whatever it wasn't as high, and they didn't need to do it. But I'm saying all that to say this. I know how these people is. I've seen these movies before. Y'all be careful in these streets. They say them hookahs too. Let me tell y'all something, and this is a God's honest truth. I told y'all before I came up with a business venture. I came up with a business venture where I was going to sell hookahs. I wasn't just going to sell hookahs. I was going to have a very profitable business venture called Voodoo Doll Hookahs. It was a whole thing. But I refused to go into that business because I understood how bad it was for me. I used to smoke hookah every day. And I ain't even going to lie. Sometimes I would get scared looking at the stuff that's coming out of the people smoking hookah. And I used to say, Lord, please get me off this hookah. You get me off this hookah, I ain't going back. And guess what? I got off it and I ain't been back. And I also decided not to do my hookah business because I understood how bad it was for me. And I refuse to sell hookahs to y'all, especially knowing I don't want to smoke none. You see what I'm saying? Especially knowing the health complications, because I know that my mass audience would be Black Americans. You see what I'm saying? So why would I sell my people something that I know is bad? So I refuse to do it. But I ain't going to hold you. Them hookahs, them vapes, be careful, man. I know we all got our vices. My vice is weed, so I'm not judging. Trust me. We all got our vices. Mine is marijuana. Trust and believe, okay? But I'm saying we got to be careful, bro. We got to be careful. Now, did y'all see she did an interview? Let's get Muni on here. She did an interview where she gave a little more detail about the situation. Y'all get the likes up, man. It says Muni Long revealed she underwent a double lung transplant after learning she had a week to live. They were wanting me to make a choice. You can either go to hospice or get these lungs. Let's get into it.
With this industry, you're always in people's faces, right?
Sure.
So I'm taking pictures and I'm like huffing and puffing like I just ran a marathon. And so I knew something was wrong. And when I woke up in the hospital, I felt so much better. Obviously, they had done whatever they needed to do to just kind of get me stable. But then all the doctors came in. It was like 6 people: a pulmonologist, rheumatologist, there was like 3 pulmonary doctors, the ECMO.
That's the intimidation factor. And let me just say this, because when I say that's the intimidation factor, all them doctors with them white coats coming in, that's an intimidation factor. Remember, Black America, these are foreigners with hard ERs coming to America to work on gods. You, Black America, are gods. Everybody is fighting and scratching at the opportunity to work on a god, to take something out of the body of a god. So what do they do to scare you into submission? They come in there with buku doctors, with all them white coats, and they give you 30 minutes to make a decision. I'm not telling y'all what to do medically. I'm just giving you the play of how they roll it. So when she's saying they came in there with all the rheumatologists and the oncologists and the ologists and this, that, and the third, that was an intimidation tactic to make her not stop and think about what they're saying, but to rush to a conclusion or an answer to save her life.
Oh, specialist, actually the doctor who invented it, Dr. Maybauer. And they're all like, you need a transplant. And I'm like, well, it sounds like you guys have a time. Like, how long do I have to live? And they go, a week.
A week to live?
1 week. And my jaw dropped. Literally, I was like, that's rude, you know? But they were kind of like just wanting me to like, hey, this is not a joke. You need to make a choice. You can either go to hospice or you can get these lungs.
And for anybody, being told that is just, but you're a singer. Yeah. You're being a singer as well. What was that playing in your mind as well?
It absolutely was. Like the ego and the vanity was just like, but what about my voice? You know, what's going to happen? But then
and it wouldn't surprise me if they took her voice with the lungs. See, Abra, pause. I need y'all to pay attention. I get it. A lot of us are adults, and because we've left behind all childish things, we can't even use our imagination to see what these people is doing. You don't understand. As a person who sings and uses their voice for a living, I'll use me as an example. I'm not no Muni Long. I'm not no bald head Jaggler. I'm not none of these powerhouse voices, but I can blow. I can sing, okay? And I'm telling you right now, my voice is directly connected to my lungs. The healthier my lungs are, the better I can sing. Whenever I used to have singing gigs, I would make sure the night before I didn't smoke hookah, right? This is before I was smoking weed, because I understood if I stayed up all night smoking hookah, the next day before I had a doggone performance, my voice is going to be horrible. So what would I do? And I had a lot of performances. I used to do bar mitzvahs, weddings, retirements. Girl, you name it, I was over there, okay? But whenever I used to smoke on them hookahs, I used to make sure I didn't do it the day or right before performances, because it literally taints my voice. That's when I'm on here like that. So what I'm telling you is, it would make all the sense in the world that them taking her lungs took an aspect of her voice. Oh, and by the way, have y'all seen Get Out? Put a 3 in the chat if you've seen the movie Get Out. If they over here transplanting brains, hello? Because see, they'll come to her and tell her, girl, you need to get rid of these lungs. They ain't no good. You undergo a transplant. The next thing you know, some old clear woman or some old clear man who was on his deathbed got 2 brand new lungs. You see what I'm saying? So just like the movie Get Out, when they were transferring the brain for consciousness into the black people bodies, remember, if y'all understood the premise of the movie Get Out, they were taking the brains from the old clear people, putting that inside of the black body, and that was a transfer of consciousness. So if your consciousness is connected to your brain, then your voice is probably connected to your lungs. It ain't rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't rocket science. So you gotta watch that. They done took both of her lungs, and they probably gonna implant them bitches in a reptilian, a clone, or a clear person. Man, hey, Y'all can sit up here and act like what I'm saying is crazy. I know what I'm talking about. Let me let her finish cooking though.
You know, I look at my son and I think about like how much more life that I have to live. Mm-hmm. And I think just quality of life was first. And you know, with this industry, you're always in people's faces, right?
Sure.
So I'm taking pictures and I'm like huffing and puffing like I just ran a marathon. And so I knew something was wrong. And when I woke up in the hospital, I felt so much better. Obviously, they had done whatever they needed to do to just kind of get me stable. But then all the doctors came in. It was like 6 people, a pulmonologist, rheumatologist.
Listen, we already heard that part. And I don't want to hear, well, she had trouble breathing prior to. They do that too. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know y'all don't understand the power that these people have and what they can do, because they got y'all believing most things are conspiracy theories. They could definitely make it to where she falls ill before she goes to the hospital. Duh. You see what I'm saying? With that being said, I ain't gonna beat the dead horse. Money long girl, I'll wait to hear your voice after this double transplant, and we'll go from there. Because I know exactly what you sounded like before, and you better sound better. Muni claims she sound better. I'll wait to see it. We'll see how it go. Like I said, I don't know many people with lupus. Don't get me the line. I have had people that I've known with lupus. We know celebrities with lupus, but however, I've never known one to have a double lung transplant. And again, I'm not saying it don't happen. I just had never heard of it. It is something new for me. But don't be foolish, y'all. If your consciousness is connected to your brain, then your voice is probably connected to your lungs. Okay? It's just 1 + 1 = 2. If they show you in the movie that they can transfer a clear man's brain into a black man's body and have that clear man's conscious in that black man's body, then I feel like the lungs is kind of the same thing. That means it could take your lungs. You get it? One thing I do know for a fact, because I dated a guy who had a heart transplant. And I'm telling you now, people with heart transplant take on the identities, take on the practices and some of the behaviors of the person who had the heart before him. Facts. I don't need no doctor to tell me that. I dated a dude for 4 years who had a heart transplant. Do you hear me? And when you get a heart transplant, you take on a lot of the characteristics of the person who had the heart before you. Facts. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. Now, we could sit up here and debate on the lungs. We could sit up here and debate on the brain. But what we're not going to debate on is the heart. Because I dated somebody with that. And that nigga, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? And if y'all don't know nobody who had a heart transplant, then you don't understand. These people, how it works is, for the person that I dated with the heart transplant, yes, he had the heart transplant, and obviously he was himself. But there were certain things that he would do that he wouldn't normally do, like cry. He was never really a crier. But once he got the heart transplant, any old thing made him cry like a little biatch. He hated it. He couldn't even control it. You know what I'm saying? Or things like the things that he eat or stuff like that. It was a lot of stuff that he would do that he would get upset that he would do because it wasn't him. You see what I'm saying? It's real life. Dead ass. Dead ass. I dated that nigga for 4 years. I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. That nigga hated that he would cry. Oh, he would hate it. Because he's a man. He's a man. So whenever somebody make him emotional and he get the cry, that nigga would hate it. He would be mad that he was crying, but he couldn't control it. Hello? Yeah, it is in the DNA. Now let's move on, y'all. Get the likes up on the video. Oh, speaking of moving on. Girl, somebody come get Vivica. Y'all come get y'all auntie. Vivica Fox is on the streets, girl, looking a mess. Let's get into it. Oh, Vivica. Oh, Vivica. Oh, poor Vivica. Let me just say this. She don't look a mess in theory.
Got it? There you go, guys. Oh, wait. I want you to get a good shot of this. I walked in the money. It's okay. Yep.
Oh, Vivica, girl. She don't look a mess as a whole. She don't. She looks good as a whole. But, you know, oh, I wish she never did nothing to herself. Vivica was perfect. Vivica Fox is one of those actresses that it really grinded my gears when I found out she did anything to herself. Vivica was perfect. I loved her nose, even though it had a little, she was perfect. But living in Hollywood, and yeah, after dating 50 Cent, you're right. Somebody said blame 50, Sergeant King, you're right. After she dated 50, she went doing all kind of crazy stuff. Vivica she looked good, but she looks so bad. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. She looked good, but she looks so bad. I don't even know how that go, you know? But shout out to Vivica, girl. Shout out to Vivica. Oh, Big Tigger arrest warrant. OMG. So this clear man went over the arrest warrant and we back to square one. Listen, this whole story with Big Tigger and his wife is sending me topsy-turvy, okay? So Big Tigger was arrested, apparently, allegedly, for popping the wife upside the head. The wife came on the internet with a big old gash across the forehead, telling everybody on the internet that they need to ask her husband, Big Tigger, why he was cheating and skeeting with the co-host, and also why she had a big old gash across her head. Now, we all was like, OMG, Big Tigger is an abuser. Then it turns out they say that whole crazier than the road lizard. I'm just giving y'all the cliff notes. They say that bitch crazy as hell. They say that whole run into walls and start lying and saying people done hit her. I don't know. Okay? Well, then recently, Big Tigger had denied all allegations. Then yesterday they say Big Tigger done turned around and went and got arrested. I said, now what didn't happen? I thought he was innocent. They gave him child cruelty charges because he must have popped in front of the boy or something like that. And they gave him something else. Well, now this clear man read off the arrest warrant, and I'm back to thinking the girl is crazy. Y'all, the man on this video is going to read this arrest warrant for Big Tigger. And when he read off why Tigger was arrested, it's literally going to tell you. I'm going to let him tell you. Y'all see if y'all see what I saw. Let's get into it. Y'all get the likes up on the video. This is insane.
We now have the arrest warrants for V103's Big Tigger. Let me tell you what's in them. This is all alleged and only in the perspective of Big Tigger's wife, Alicia Brown. According to Brown in these arrest warrants, her and Big Tigger, aka Darian Morgan, got into a huge fight because she allegedly found text messages between him and another female in his phone. And at some point, he allegedly called her a psycho. But things only escalated from there. Brown claims that he began to record her. And at some point, she snatched that phone out of his hands. And that's when she says he tackled her to the ground, bruising her bottom lip. And it didn't stop there. According to Brown, when she got to her feet, she headed straight to the basement and said, quote, in these arrest warrants, I'll show you psycho, and began unplugging Big Tigger's computer. Well, at some point, she says Big Tigger restrained her, and she kept telling him to get off, which she says he didn't, and began pushing her out of the office. And at some point, she lost her footing, and she says that she hit her face off the door, cutting it. Now Morgan faces aggravated battery and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And why he has that cruelty to children charge is because police say a juvenile was in the home during that alleged altercation.
Okay, so hold the front door. Hold the front door. So according to the story, she saw that he was texting. She must have found the text messages between him and the coworker, right? I don't know if she caught him in red-handed cheating, or maybe she just saw because he was texting the girl that she assumed they were cheating. Don't get me the line. It sounds like she snatched his phone, right? Then he started recording her. Basically, it sounds like he was trying to restrain her, and she was the one acting crazy. Then when he recorded her, she snatched the phone and then started unplugging the computer. I'm pretty sure he had stuff on there unsaved, all kinds of stuff. And then this girl, according to the police report, she stumbled into another room and hit her head on the wall. And now Tigger is charged with battery. Even the police records say he restrained her. It didn't say he hit her. It didn't say he choked her. It didn't say he slammed her. It literally said he restrained her. But he's the one being charged? Yeah, this is different. I believe that the girl is crazy. Yes, I do. I'm not saying Tigger is innocent. Tigger probably was cheating with that lady. He probably did pop her once or twice, but not too many. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think they both crazy and they deserve each other. See, these are the type of people here go through all of this and then get back together. I ain't got time, but I do think something wrong with this girl. Said what I said. Something is genuinely wrong with her. I ain't even lying. And she said he called her crazy. He said she was a psycho. And she said, oh.
We now have the arrest warrants.
I'm going to show you a psycho. Oh, yeah, that bitch crazy. That bitch is throwed off. What kind of bitch said, oh, girl, if a nigga call me crazy, I'm going to say, yo, mom. I ain't going to say, oh, you think I'm crazy? I'm about to show you crazy. Fuck no, because I'm not crazy. Bitch, your mom crazy. That hoe said what I said. You feel what I'm Your regular ass mama, bitch. That's the old me. I don't do that no more. And I only do that if I don't like your mama. But if I like your mama, I wouldn't say that about your mama. But most people mama like me. Some of them didn't. But most people mama like me. That's all I'm going to say. But if I don't like your mama, as soon as you make me mad, your ugly ass mama, bitch. I'm old school, okay? Now, speaking of old school, let's get into this. Now, did y'all see, what's this lady, Okra? Now, this clone that came out random and said that Whitney Houston was so high. High is the cost of living. How high was she? She said Whitney was so high, she just fell flat on her face one day on the show, and she refused to tell people because she knew it would ruin Whitney. First of all, Whitney falling would have never ruined her because we rock with Whitney. We held Whitney up, okay? And we've seen her high, and her falling behind set on your show would have never dropped her from us. Maybe from the clears, not from the Negroes, okay? But my thing is, when it comes to this clone and her best friend Kale, Oprah and Gail, y'all haven't caught on that these people are paid psyops? Every time you see them talking about somebody that's Black American, it is in a negative tone. You rarely hear them hoes say anything positive about other Black Americans. Everything positive they have to say is about everybody else. Every time you see them, rather it's an interview, rather it's just them just talking, sharing old memories, every single encounter with these hoes, because Oprah and Gail are hoes. Every single encounter with these hoes pertaining to Black Americans is always negative. These hoes are plants. But I should have knew Oprah was a plant because I wanted to know how a fat Black woman was able to be in primetime TV back in the 80s. Nobody liked the fat Black woman in the 80s. Said what I said. I should have knew then that hoe was a plant. Every time you turn around, if it wasn't Gail with what's that boy that played basketball, big old tall boy, Kobe Bryant. If it wasn't Gail with Kobe, Gail with R.K. Every time they have any encounter with niggas, they always coming back with something negative to tell the rest of the world. I don't understand how anybody that's Black American even like these bitches. I ain't even gonna hold you. But let's get into it. So Oprah decides to do an interview or something, and said that basically Whitney Houston fell flat on her face because she was so high one time that she decided to keep the secret and not tell. Remember, Oprah also came out and did that shit to Michael Jackson after Michael Jackson was found innocent, not guilty by the feds, not the regular police, bitch, and not the sheriff. Michael Jamal Jackson was found not guilty by the federal police. That means they did thorough investigations and found nothing. And that whole Oprah cane turned right back around after that man laid the rest and passed on, and then had them churn up there to say that he really did rape them. They have a job, and their job is to tear us down. That's how they remain relevant. That's how they remain in charge. And that's how they remain rich. tear down the niggas, uplift everybody else. Okay? I watched Oprah do that to Mike, and it pissed me off because, number one, he was already proven to be not guilty, and number two, what do you gain out of having these people on here to say this? But I know Oprah is a plant, and she does what she's told. Her and her best friend that they be scissoring and all of that. Okay? Now let's get into the story. It says Whitney Houston's estate is upset over Oprah Winfrey's recent claims that the late singer appeared on her talk show under the influence of drugs, insisting that the events of that day are actually Oprah's responsibility, according to sources from TMZ. The estate, managed by Pat Houston, issued a strong statement to TMZ with Pat stating, I emphatically respond to a statement made by Oprah Winfrey at Cannes Lions. Pat clarified Whitney absolutely fell off the stage, but it was during a sound check, and it was due to the darkness of the area and her unfamiliarity with the stage. She was absolutely not high. Acknowledging Whitney's battles with addiction, Pat remarked, like many people, she faced personal battles, but it is inaccurate and unfair to attach that struggle to every performance of her chapter of her life. What the studio audience witnessed on that stage was the result of discipline, talent, and commitment, not the assumptions others project. She concluded Whitney's humanity included triumphs and struggles, but on that day, she showed up as the professional and gifted artist she always worked to be. It says we owe her the dignity of telling the truth, not repeating myths. But again, this is all Oprah does. Her job, that's why she be putting them glasses on. Her clone eyes is showing. Her job is to come out here and disparage Black Americans. That's all her and Gayle do. That's all they do. And even if she was high, so what? So what? Whitney was all of our family. We had already come to terms, her and Bobby crazy ass, that they was our cousins, our aunties or whatever who on drugs, but we love them. We wasn't never going to turn our backs on them. So what was you saying that to say what? You saying that to say what? Like, but again, it's not even about us. It's about what the masses think. It's about tearing these people down in front of the masses. That's what this is all about. So what? Even if she was high, she fell off the stage. Whoop-de-fucking do. So what? You think the audience was going to stop and gas and wasn't going to have her sing the rest of the songs? You must be lost. But that's her job. This is why they get paid so much money. What is this? Oprah Winfrey. I guess this is the video.
Hey girl, how you doing? Greeting thing. And then I stopped the cameras and I went behind stage and I said, so tell me, what do you want? What do you want to happen here? And I'm going to tell you what I want to happen here. And that was one of the most powerful interviews. And do you all know this is an amazing thing that happened? I had such trust from the Oprah show audience that Whitney did, I think it was her last show with us, and she had gone back on drugs. The first interview I did with her when we'd gone behind stage and I asked her about her intention, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform in front of the audience, she was not. And she fell off of the stage. And I knew that if that story got out that she'd fallen off of the stage, that she would be destroyed by that. And so even though the audience was there, we did the whole, hey girl, how you doing? Greeting thing.
And like I said, her whole job is to disparage Whitney. Now this is the gag. Clive Davis just died, right? She was good friends with Clive Davis, but I bet you won't ever hear her get up on here and say nothing negative about Clive Davis because they know who butter the best side of their bread. They not stupid. They know who to play with and who not to play with. So instead of her discussing Clive and him being dead and talk about the time he was in there getting pumped in the booty or something like that, nah, she want to come on here and talk about something so frivolous as even if it was the truth. Let's just say she fell. You want to come on here and tell us Whitney Houston fell because she was high? Oh, well, Oh, well. But again, like I said, you will never hear them say nothing negative about them clears. Everything they gonna say is to say negative about us, and it's to tear our industry, our image down, and tear us down in front of the masses. These hoes is not all skin folk ain't kin folk. And Oprah is one of those people. But speaking of, since she brought it up, shout out to the beautiful late Miss Phyllis Hyman, who was taken tragically before her time. She spoke about the rare situation she had with Clive Davis and how much of a demon he was. Since Oprah want to bring up Whitney falling, let's talk about Clive Davis and what he used to do to artists, because everybody knows that Clive Davis was a demon in the industry. I know Jermaine Dupri Liberty ass was on here crying, begging niggas to give him a tribute. Never happening, okay? However, the real Clive Davis was a demon. He was a vampire, blood-sucking demon that went through the industry, basically reshaping it and turning our people into nothing and has been so that he can make all the money. And the things that he did to this lady and even to Whitney need to be discussed. And by the way, Clive, you old white bastard, I remember you tried to come back and replace Whitney Houston with Jennifer Hudson. I want to take this goddamn cell phone and hum it at the back of your head, you goddamn reptilian. Bitch, J Hud will never, do you hear me? Jennifer Hudson will never, she can't even fetch Whitney Houston's water, bitch. And I don't give a damn how many of y'all like her voice. I'm tired of that hoe with all that wailing, all that Mahalia Jackson ass singing. Nigga don't want to hear all that ugly ass shit. And he thought he was going to get rid of Whitney and put her in front of us. And we told him to kick rocks with no shoes on. We don't want to hear that raglan ass hoe sacrifice her whole family for a B+ list goddamn career. You thought you was slick, but you didn't get away with that one, cracker. Now let's get into Phyllis Hyman. Get the likes up on the video.
Taught me to never be afraid because I was so terrorized by him. Whether he meant to do it or not, I'll never know. But he sure taught me that if you try to terrorize me again, well, we can't say that on public radio. What I may do to someone who tries to hurt me again in this business, I'm not having it. I should be respected as I respect, and I will not have someone try to ruin my spirit and ruin my career. If Clive Davis, if his plan was to destroy my career, it didn't work. Davis taught me to never be afraid.
Clive Davis, I believe that he has something to do with Phyllis Hyman's death. I also believe that he has something to do with Whitney Houston's death. I believe he has something to do with damn near everybody. I believe he has something to do with Luther Vandross, a whole lot of the niggas in the industry. Remember, I told y'all, when these people die, they're not just dying because the industry don't like them. They are energy harvesting, stealing talent. So getting rid of a Phyllis Hyman is really going to give him the power to recreate another Phyllis in somebody else. Because I really believe, I don't care what nobody say, I believe that's what he was trying to do with Jennifer Hudson, but we wasn't going. Clears love her. Negroes like her. Okay? So instead of Oprah on the internet telling us all of the horrible, heinous stuff Clive Davis did, she took her time out to come over here to tell us that Whitney Houston fell off the stage. Oh, well. And I hope this cracker here is not resting, but dying in piss. Said what I said. Girl, moving around. That's why I say I don't do celebrities. I don't like them. Everybody know that. And it's not all celebrities. The ones I see. If I can see you, I don't like you. I ain't even gonna lie. Celebrities get on my fucking nerves. And not just the ones I see. Let me retract that. The ones who be on the internet trying to be puppets to the people. I hate you bitches. So yeah, fuck Gayle, fuck Oprah, fuck Clive Davis, and anybody coming behind them. Said what I said. Let's move on. Y'all get the likes up on the video. I hope y'all are doing well. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We do this Monday through Friday. Y'all pull up, pull over, and pop out, okay? Pull up, pull over, and pop out. Speaking of popping out, look at this woman got fired from her job at Chase Bank or something because she stole a garbage can after the Knicks won the goddamn championship. Now, in this lady's defense, in her defense, New York don't have no garbage cans. The streets is the garbage can. So let's get into it. This lady, shout out to the New York Knicks. New York! Y'all finally won y'all a little chip, huh? I don't know if I came on here and said congratulations to y'all little rag lads, but congratulations, New York. I heard y'all won the chip. Cheating asses. Go ahead on, no. But look, so New York won the championship, and all of the immigrants in New York went to losing their mind. They went to going crazy. You see what I'm saying? They said they was out there hitting people upside the head. They was hitting cops. Cops was out there drinking, smoking, selling peen, all kind of stuff was happening in New York after they won. Well, apparently this little foreigner here with the hardy arm, she must have needed a garbage can for the house. You know, they say New York don't have garbage cans, allegedly. Okay? So apparently she needed her garbage can and found her one that said New York Knicks. And when she took the garbage can, somebody had recorded it and put it online, and now that lady done got fired. Y'all wrong for that. And let me say this to the people. That lady should sue the company, because the company, she's not in uniform. Unless they got something written in their bylaws that say you still responsible on or off the campus about what happened with your image. But that lady ain't in uniform, and we wouldn't have knew where she worked until somebody said something. I don't think she should have lost her job. And let me tell you why this is important. We can laugh about it because it's this little foreigner here, but when it's y'all, it's going to be a problem. I don't think that is right. The lady lost her job. What she did off the clock, outside of uniform, ain't had nothing to do with her job, but somehow she lost the job. So we're going to get into it. Y'all get the likes up. It says Angie Baez, a JP Morgan Chase executive. Oh, she was an executive. Never mind. I thought she was just a bank teller. See, when you high up in corporate, yeah, it's different. My bad. Your ass need to be fired. Because, girl, you making too much money. At least I hope. So, okay, Angie Baez, a JP Morgan Chase executive, was fired after being identified as the woman seen on video dumping out and taking a Knicks-themed public trash can during New York City's championship parade. Let's get into it. It says the woman who went viral for stealing a Knicks-themed trash can at the parade last week was identified as Angie Baez, a director of DEI. You can't make this up. At JP Morgan, fired at O. It says JP Morgan reportedly fired Baez after the video of her got 1 million views or millions of views on social media, and the firm confirmed today she is no longer with the firm. Let me say this to Black Americans. Remember how they got y'all out here windmilling for DEI? Put a 3 in the chat if y'all remember when they had y'all windmilling for DEI and boycotting and things of that nature. Y'all remember that? If you remember when Paul, what's his name? That pastor boy. If y'all remember when he had y'all on here windmilling for DEI, I told y'all Black Americans do not benefit from DEI. I told y'all that they use your struggle to give your opportunities to them. Even though on TV, I saw on Scary Movie, they made a little joke with Kim Wayans saying that I'm a DEI hire. Black Americans do not benefit from DEI. I don't know what part of that y'all don't understand. And if you think I'm lying, look to your left and look to your right and ask the Black American to your left and the Black American to your right how they benefit from DEI. You don't. And the reason why they keep putting it in the industry, I'm sorry, not the industry. The reason why they keep putting it in the algorithm is to keep your energy, to keep it alive. You're fighting for them to take your jobs. So all of y'all running pro DEI, you're fighting for them. Look who's the executive for DEI at JP Morgan. I can almost guarantee you, if I went and did a Google search right now of all the executives at JP Morgan, I can count on 1 or 2 hands how many of them are Black Americans. I'm just saying. It's just a little sidebar, okay? At any rate, they fired her ass for stealing this garbage can. And here she goes stealing the can. Girl, I hope it was worth it. With her little bad build ass. She built like the penguin.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I don't want to take the lady's side, but in her defense, New York just got trash cans. And if y'all think I'm lying, check this out. Country jungles where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. These lights will inspire you. So in the lady defense, they ain't have no trash cans. They didn't. They really didn't. They just look at the little one they just got. They just got that one 2 years ago. That was in 2024. They just got trash cans. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think they could have gave the lady a little slack. You know what I'm saying? Nigga said, nope, she needs to go to prison. Lock her ass up. I'm with y'all and the porter. Said what I said. You right. I'm wrong. Lock that hoe up and deport her for theft. Said what I said. But yeah, New York just got their trash cans. So, you know, they're a little excited. The lady seen one and decided, you know, I'm tired of throwing trash around. Let me get a can, you know, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's move on. Shout out to New York. I didn't mean to catch y'all astray or nothing, but y'all ain't had no trash can. They were so excited. Y'all remember that? Remember how excited they was when they got their little trash cans? Girl, you couldn't tell New York nothing. Do you hear me? When they got them trash cans, you couldn't tell them nothing. Look, let me show y'all. You think I'm lying? Look at the mail. When they got their trash cans, girl, they were so excited. I couldn't believe it. I said, look, oh, this is cute. Girl, I grew up with trash cans. I didn't know y'all like them this much.
I visit other countries. They are blown away that we still use plastic bags. We're going to catch up with everyone else and make sure we get these plastic bags off our streets.
See, he said he been all over the country, and them people were so shocked that them people in New York don't own a trash can. So shout out to y'all ex-mayor. He bought all y'all some trash cans. Y'all got y'all trash cans? I sure hope you do. I just left New York. I still seen trash bags on the streets, but neither here nor there. Shout out to New York. Love y'all down to the ground. But y'all are behind the schedule. Y'all just are, okay? Now moving on. Get the likes up on the video. Somebody drop down in the comments. Do New York have their trash cans yet? I was just up there in January. I still seen trash bags. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to see something. And speaking of trash cans, oh my God. Lizzo can't sell her album. Oh my God. Lord, God knows how to segue these shows, huh? Lizzo, I don't know what to do after fans urge her not to let the album die amid reports it sold 2,649 copies in the first week. Oh, girl, I done sold more coochie than that. Let's get into it.
I promoted my album and people on the internet clown me for it, so I don't know what to do. I promoted my album super hard and people were calling me a desperate flop, so I don't know, guys. Okay.
Who was calling that lady a desperate flop? Y'all wrong if y'all was in that girl comments calling that girl a desperate flop. Nah, girl, the internet is ruthless. But anyways, she couldn't sell the album because, girl, we don't want to hear all that ugly ass shit. You want to know what really Lizzo's real problem is? She started off selling fat. Let's call it a thing. She's super talented, but she started off selling her fatness. And then when she decided she didn't want to be fat no more, or the powers that be told her, okay, time's up on being fat. Now you need to lose weight. It literally sucked the life out of her audience because the people who were there because she was fat. Y'all don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. It's no different from you coming over here and subscribing to my channel because I talk about topics like this. And then one day I come back and start talking about clowns. Bitch, you about to unsubscribe because I didn't come over here for all of that. It's the same thing with her fan base. When she stopped selling the idea of being fat, it literally killed her fan base. And on top of that, the music was trash and it's been trash for a long time. Y'all just don't want to say nothing. She's trash. Great talent, but trash artist. completely different things. She can sing, she probably can rap, and she can play the goddamn that flute. Great talent, trash artists. Okay? They got a lot of people with talent that aren't great artists. She's never been a good artist. Her whole thing has been a gimmick. Her being fat. That's why everybody liked her music. That's why everybody bought her album, because she embraced being fat. But then you turned around and tried to get a little halfway skinny. You tried to pull a Monique and it didn't work. My sweet babies. Now get off here, because they say you was around there allegedly. They say she do child allegedly. Don't get me the line. I didn't say it. The clear man on that stage at the roast said it. That they be around there messing with them churn. Allegedly. Don't get me the line. I don't know how true it is. Okay. So yeah, I don't trust that hoe. Never did. Okay. Now, I want to get into some stuff. Where do we start? Let's get into sickle cell. Do y'all recall, first of all, let's start with sickle cell for what it is. Sickle cell anemia is what it's called. We're going to pull up the scientific version. Hold on. Before we get into this next story. Because I need y'all to be aware of what in the hell is going on. Y'all get the likes up, please. All right. Let me ask Google what's sickle cell so we can get the actual definition so we can know what we're talking about. What is sickle cell? A group of inherited blood disorders that causes red blood cells to become stiff, sticky, and crescent shaped. These mishapen cells get stuck in small blood vessels, blocking blood flow and oxygen, which lead to episodes of severe pain, organ damage, and chronic anemia. Okay, so now we know what sickle cell is. Before we get into this story, I need Black America to know this. If you are someone you know has suffered or suffered from sickle cell, then you are a part of an ancient group of people. You are actually a very powerful being. There are so many powerful ancient things that you hold and possess that you don't know. Okay? Now, I get it. Sickle cell is a disease. It can be painful. I remember I went to elementary with this little boy who died of sickle cell when we got to middle school? Yeah. He died of sickle cell when we got to middle school. But what you don't know is people who have the sickle cell trait and or sickle cell are a group of ancient beings who've been here for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. And also, you're a god, okay? Please, we'll table that and come back to it another day. I just need y'all to know that, okay? Now, sickle cell is a disease that is prevalent amongst only one group of people. I know Google gonna tell you it's another group, but they lying. Sickle cell is a disease that is prevalent only amongst one group of people, and that is Black Americans, okay? Not the Indians, because that's what Google gonna tell you. They lying. They found a couple of people, allegedly found a couple of people with sickle cell, and now they're trying to make it seem like it's a thing that happened in India. But if you understand that the people in India, the red dots, are taking on our identity, which is why they changed their name from Hindustan to India to take our Indian heritage and Indian name away from us, call us Negroes and make them the Indians, then you would understand why they would put on paper that they have our diseases. I hope that made sense. I don't want to repeat that. Then you would understand why they will put on paper that they have our diseases, okay? Because it's a destiny swap. A lot of our heritage, but a lot of our history is held in the Indian family, in the Indian or India. They got a lot of our practices and a lot of stuff over there that we don't even know, okay? Now I'm getting off subject. Let's get back to the sickle cell over here. So, sickle cell anemia has been plaguing Black America since the beginning of time. And like I told y'all, it is a sign of ancient beings. So if you are somebody you know suffer from it, you are an ancient being, okay? Okay, now why is this important? The doctors have now said they found a cure for functional sickle cell, or let me backtrack, a functional cure for sickle cell anemia. Now, what does that mean? I looked it up last night because I wanted to be knowing exactly what that means. When they say a functional cure, they don't cure the disease as it is. They can't. But what they're saying is they found a way to cure the symptoms, to cure the things that happen to people who suffer from sickle cell. Basically, give a person with sickle cell a stress-free life. Now, I'm going to be real. I watched the video. I don't trust it. One person, apparently this young man, underwent some sort of procedure to have his sickle cell stuff cured, and they said he's functionally cured. Now, this is what I would like to know. How long ago did he have the surgery? How long has it been since he had it, and has he had any symptoms or any episodes? And if so, what were they? Were they severe before? Were they severe after? Like, it's so many questions. They don't tell y'all none of this. They don't give you none of the research, none of the data. All they do is use headlines and videos because they know most people will not do the research. And there are people out here who suffer with sickle cell anemia who's going to see this post and they're going to run to their doctors and say, hey, how do I get the functional cure for sickle cell? The only thing I'm telling y'all is be mindful and careful of what it is you ask for. Don't jump out the window and volunteer for nothing, especially since you've seen it on no Instagram. Do your research, do what's best for you, but make sure if you don't do nothing, you do your research, okay? Now, I want to get into the video. Here, this young man, allegedly, they say he undergone treatment and he's from New Orleans. Lord have mercy. They say now he don't have sickle cell no more. Love to see it. 23-year-old man becomes first person in Louisiana to be functionally cured of sickle cell disease through gene therapy. Oh my God. I don't want anybody else to experience the loneliness and the uncertainty and the hopelessness that I felt. See, here it go. They over here transplanting lungs. Now they over here playing with gene therapy. Man, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Okay, let's get into it. Neighbors, a New Orleans man is making history after being functionally cured of sickle cell disease through gene therapy. 23-year-old Daniel Cressy underwent the treatment over a 2-year period, and the disease is no longer active in his system. He is the first person in Louisiana to reach that milestone. Cressy shared that the condition once put his dream of becoming a pilot at risk. I don't believe that. And the journey to treatment was long and difficult. This entire journey was the hardest thing it was the hardest thing I've been in my life. And the reason why I work so hard with our organization, Privileged Pilots, is because I don't want anybody else to have to experience the loneliness and the uncertainty and the hopelessness that I felt a couple of years ago. Doctors say the therapy works by using a patient's own stem cells, which are edited in a lab so they no longer produce the defective cells that cause the disease. Let me read that again. Doctors say the therapy works by using a patient's own stem cells, which are edited in a lab so they no longer produce the detective cells that causes the disease. Okay, girl, let's get into it. Y'all get the likes up.
23-year-old Daniel Cressy became the first person in Louisiana to be functionally cured of sickle cell disease through gene therapy. That means the disease is no longer active in his system. Cressy says that his dream of becoming a pilot was almost taken away from him because of this blood disorder. He says it was tough, a two-year journey under this procedure, and he wants to pay that forward with his own nonprofit to help other people going through sickle cell treatment.
This entire journey was the hardest thing I've done in my life. And the reason why I work so hard with our organization, Privileged Pilots, is because I don't want anybody else to have to experience the loneliness and the uncertainty and the hopelessness that I felt a couple of years ago.
Someone's ability to access treatment and potentially cure should not be defined by their zip code. People in Louisiana deserve the same opportunity as people anywhere else in this country. The people living with sickle cell disease are here. They're our neighbors, our friends, our families.
Doctors say the therapy uses a patient's very own stem cells that have been edited in a lab so they no longer produce the defective cells that cause the disease. We're told around 3,000 people in Louisiana have sickle cell disease. That is the highest rate per capita in this country.
So I went and looked up Daniel Cressy because he looks like a tether. I ain't even gonna lie. He give me tether vibes. But when I looked him up to find out who he was, they don't have no information, especially on his parents, because I wanted to see where he's from. So I said, who is Daniel Cressy's parents? And it says Daniel Cressy is a 23-year-old from New Orleans area. He's from Metairie. That's not New Orleans. But a New Orleans area pilot who made headlines as the first person in Louisiana to be functionally cured of sickle cell. The names of his specific biological parents are not currently available in public news reports. I don't believe this, man. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. And then when I go to ask Mo, it said, no, would you like me to find out more about the gene therapy process? I don't believe this. And also, you know what's crazy when I saw it? I was thinking, what if he's a clone? Because I believe, especially on social media, a lot of these stories, even like that little kid that got gunned down by Rick Child, what if that was a clone just used to play out something to get our energy harvest? Y'all ever thought about that? Am I the only one who think like that? I believe they use a lot of clones, a lot of fake people to use for headlines. I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy theorist. But something in the milk don't be clean about these people that be popping up out of nowhere. Y'all not about to make me think that I'm crazy. Edited. Can we talk about the fact that they're going to take your stem cells, edit them, and put them back into your bodies? Black America, did I not just tell y'all that people who suffer from sickle cell have ancient DNA? I literally just said that. Which would make you prime real estate to want to edit your fucking stem cells. If I just told you people who suffer from, and this is, I'm a conspiracy theorist, pay me no mind. Keep listening though. If I just told you that people who suffer from sickle cell come from ancient DNA and bloodlines, and they are gods and kings and things of that nature, it would make sense why they would want to go and cure sickle cell so that they can edit your stem cell. Come on, man. Listen, Black America, they're dying off, literally, physically and literally, they're dying off. They need you to survive. Your melanin, your energy, your skin, your lungs, your gene therapy, they need all of this to survive. And they're doing any and everything that they can to stay alive. Again, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not no doctor. Something here in the milk ain't clean. That Daniel Cressy boy popped up out of nowhere with no parents. I don't believe it. 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 If I were y'all, like I said, if you're interested, I'm not telling you what to do and not to do. I can't give you medical advice. But if you are interested, I would advise you to just do your research. And I would also wait to see how many more people go. Girl, listen, I don't know. Let me move on, because I don't want nobody to say I'm trying to tell them what to do and whoop the whoop. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't even on that type of time. Because I ain't gonna lie, I really get anxious when I start talking about medical stuff, because I understand how sensitive that topic is, and I don't want to sound insensitive to people who might be suffering through stuff. But I'm gonna be honest, y'all, just do your research. Please, just do your research. Don't jump out the window because you've seen it on Instagram. Please, that's the last thing you need to do. Do your research, okay? Please, please, please. Y'all get the likes up on the video. Let me read a couple of more super chats since some more came through. What you cooking? Hey, boo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Vu, have you seen the slinky neck Trina lately? Style has gone down the drain. Yeah, I seen that hoe over there looking like the lady from the big comfy couch. I seen her. She looked at a mess. and over here singing songs like her coochie good. She better make new songs. If that hoe gonna get up there looking like somebody ain't T, she better write ain't T songs. Because we don't want to hear nobody saying you don't know now why they looking like our mom. Bitch. Yeah. She gotta go Janet. Oh, yeah. Trina gotta go Janet. Janet sings songs like, I just wanna rub you, kiss you, suck you. So guess what? Every time Janet go on tour, Janet go on a diet. And Janet make sure that outfit and them clothes is yay. So when she pull them niggas up there saying, I just wanna kiss you, squeeze you, hug you, them niggas gonna be like, ooh. But not Trina, not Slinky. Oh no, not Slinky. Slinky want to come up there in the moo-moo hollering, here we go again. No, bitch. I'm going to need that hoe to get it together or get off the stage. Say what I say. I seen that hoe over there looking a mess. She looked so bad. Yes, I did. She looked it so bad. Every song she got talking about her coochie, and you up there looking like somebody babysitter. Girl, don't get me started. What you cooking? Why did you get me started? Thank you so much for the super chat, but you almost took me off on a tangent, girl. I'm still disappointed in Trina because I really believe she was the Diamond Princess. I did back in the days. I did. And I did believe that hoe was the baddest bitch. Turns out everything I ever thought was a lie. Girl, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. I really did believe that. All to get here. And I didn't have to get here. I got on Love and Hip Hop and saw that was a lie. But still, you know. Miss Tatiana, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Boo, why me and Mariah Lynn argued on X about her cosplaying Black Americans, and that clear girl had the audacity to claim she's mixed. Girl, please, listen. Mariah Lynn done been around niggas so much to where she's starting to believe she a nigga. White people do this everywhere they go. That's why they claim they Spanish. That's why they claim they American. That's why they claim they Asian. That's why they claim they everywhere they go. That's what clears do. I told you, people who come from zero identity shapeshift into everybody. That's what they do. So yeah, Mariah Lynn she had the right one. She had the right one because I'd have made that out of girl. They lucky. See, the problem with me with going back and forth on social media, I don't like typing. I'm not about to do all of that. I'm not. After I say what I say, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be waiting on you to respond. Now I'm checking the notifications to see, oh, she responded. Oh, that's me, my turn. Now I'm over here busting my fingers and thumbs up, trying to respond, send it, and saying, ooh, when she get it, that whole. I'm not about to do all that. I ain't got time. I ain't even gonna hold you. But yeah, Mariah Lynn, go lay with a white ass. She white as snow. Thank you, Miss Tatiana. What you cooking? Thank you so much for the super chat. Says the industry wanted Lizzo to be fat. Simple as that. Yeah. She tried to lose weight. And it's the worst part. She didn't even get slim. She got like in between fat and slim. She got slim. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, girl, what you about to do? It's kind of like running a race and stopping in the middle. Like, girl, is something wrong with you? Like, bitch. Is you gonna lose the weight or no, bitch? Like, what is you about to do, ho? And I know what she did. She only lost a couple of pounds so she could keep the fat people around, but it didn't work because, bitch, you got a waist. No. Them fat girls didn't like that. Them fat girls didn't like that, bitch. You either gonna be big or you're not, as they should. Shout out to the fat girls. I'm with the fat girls. No, bitch, don't play with us. You gonna say you gonna come over here and tell us all to go eat and be fat. Then, bitch, you gonna turn around and get you a lap band? Or no, I'm with the fat girls. I'm with them. Because I'd have felt some type of way too. Bitch, I'm over here eating because you said it's good to eat. Next thing you know, you done pop back out. Oh, no. Oh, hell no, bitch. Fuck Lizzo. Said what I said. Thank you. What you cooking? Optimal Instincts, thank you so much for the super chat. Says children's channels are airing HIV vaccine ads. You know, it's so crazy. I saw another one talking about PrEP. Now you can go in twice a year and you can get the PrEP. They showing vaccine ads to kids because they want everybody jacked up. Okay. At the end of the day, this whole HIV AIDS thing is a psyop. And it is another Tuskegee experiment done over, but Black Americans can't see it. They literally dropped off AIDS and herpes in our community. Turbo AIDS. Oh, yeah. You know how they got the new turbo cancer? They gave us turbo AIDS, dropped them off in our community, and they watching us. And they telling us that PrEP, allegedly, conspiracy theory, because I'm a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theory, allegedly, they giving y'all that PrEP and all that other shit, making y'all think y'all staying away from it, and it's drawing you closer. I seen what the HIV meds did in the past. They don't work, allegedly. Allegedly. But it wouldn't surprise me they showing it to children because they want us all dead. It's a part of eugenics. It's a part of eugenics. Welcome to the party, Black America. You are now into the new Tuskegee experiment. You're part of it. I'm here in it. You're here in it. We're all a part of it. Facts. Conspiracy. Allegedly. Okay. Thank you, Optimal. I appreciate you. Lashana, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Vu, that's my last name. Spell it a little different. Oh, that Cressa, whatever. Yeah. I don't believe that boy is real, though. I don't believe the story is real. I don't know if the boy is real. I don't believe the story is real. Thank you, Boo. Nikki P, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, when will you have a show on the people with sickle cell voodoo? You know what? I need to. I might do an educational Friday on it. I might. Because I did research on it years and years ago when I learned about sickle cell. And let me tell you a crazy story, a short story. But the kid that I went to school with in elementary, I'll never forget. He was a short kid, but he had a big old belly. And I used to think that he had a big old belly because of his sickle cell. Still don't know to this day. But I do remember his parents kept him fresh. He always had the freshest clothes on, earrings, money and everything. But he suffered from sickle cell and he passed when we got to middle school. I want to say our 6th grade year, he passed. Well, I remember having conversations about it and people were talking about it. And when I got to be an adult, I decided to kind of look up what it is and what it was for and how it came about. And I realized and I learned what it is and how ancient that disease is and how it's basically a marker for the ancient ones and the ancient beings. Yes, you don't have to have sickle cell. Even the trait identifies you as a marker. And let me say this too. When we give birth in hospitals, they get all that data immediately. That's why as soon as you had a baby, what they do, come take the baby. Or we got to go clean the baby. We got to go woo-de-woo. They getting all the data. They know who we all are. They know exactly who we are. Okay? So they getting the data. They know who all is who. They not foolish. They know exactly who is who and where is what. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that that these people with the sickle cell and the traits of sickle cell, because it ain't gonna be the people suffering mostly. It's gonna be people with the traits. Oh, well, just in case. They gonna go get it, and they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be the prime candidates for them people to go and transplant, like they're transplanting lungs. They're gonna be transplanting stem cells. I'm telling you now. But yeah, I'll do a show on it. Let me set something up. Thank you, Nikki P. And Felicia Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Vu, you should talk about the story of Jadarius. Who is that? Jadarius Miniweather and Maurice Palms in Baton Rouge. I've never heard of these people. Send it to me in the email, voodoodollpodcast@gmail.com. I've never heard of them, but if you send me the information, I'll look at it. Thank you so much, Felicia Taylor. Now, we got to move on. Let's get into Dr. Candice. Let's get to her. Hold on. Let me pull her up here. Now, I've only seen this Dr. Candice lady in passing. Huh? I didn't send that to me. Did I? Oh, okay. I know what I did. Sorry, y'all. I'm reading something. Okay, so Dr. Candice, I don't know much about this lady. But every time I seen her, she cutting up, freaking out, screaming and hollering, and she's a loud lady. Allegedly, from what the people are saying, Dr. Candice is from Louisiana, but she's been doing a lot of work, it seems like, in Texas. Every time I see her, she cussing somebody out. And when I seen her with Dr. Cornell X, is that his name? I knew right then and there she was a psyop. Because if y'all believe Dr. Cornell X, that's the black dude, the thick, fathead black boy who be on the podcast with that clear man and they be arguing back and forth about race relations. If y'all think that that man is genuine and real, I feel bad for y'all. But when I saw her next to him, I knew right then and there, this a play. Then the Carmelo Anthony trial happened. Mind you, nobody said nothing. No celebrities, no politicians, no social activists. Nobody had nothing to say. But as soon as that boy was found guilty, now here come everybody hopping out the woodworks. I saw Dr. Candice go out there and I saw her with the bullhorn talking about all of the things that went wrong in the trial. And immediately I kept saying to myself, if you saw this shit going wrong, why didn't you step in before? And then I had to answer myself and say, the reason she didn't step in before is because she couldn't. She's a puppet, a plant. She do what them crackers tell her to do. And y'all like her because she hood. That's all it takes for niggas in the hood. Somebody they can relate to. So because this hoe be around here cosplaying like she cares, cosplaying a caring person, and she gets around the people and start cussing them out. This the same way Jasmine Crockett got y'all. This the same way Jasmine Crockett got niggas. Because they get on here, get the cussing and acting a nigga. Niggas who can't say it to the crackers they want to say it to, live vicariously through the people they see on the internet, and they get the clapping and now they new fans. Y'all gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe every single time. This hoe here is an op. That one now is a plant and an op, allegedly. Okay? But I did some research, and this one made me know she was an op. And I just did this little article. I ain't even do nothing. And it looked like something either she wrote. First of all, look at her hands. I like her nails, though. But first of all, look at her hands. They all do the hand signals. I think it's something to tell the people outside who's in their little secret society, hey, I'm one of y'all. I'm one of y'all. So she got the hands. That was one. And then when I read her about, I said, okay. It says Dr. Candice Matthews, statewide vice chair, is a highly accomplished and well-respected administrator with over 2 decades of experience in the field of social work. Currently, she holds the Director of Children of Diversity Foster Adoption Agency position. The bitch is in charge of diversity for a foster care system. Diversity is a huge red flag. When I see words like diversity, it reminds me of people of color, Pan-African, all of that shit is a huge red flag. It goes on to say, it says, where she is responsible for designing, developing, and implementing the agency's strategic plan cost effectively and timely efficient. It says, in addition to her managerial duties, Candice is also responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations of the organization, managing committees, developing staff, and creating business plans in collaboration with state departments. Dr. Matthews was rewarded an honorary doctorate. So here it is. I notice a lot of what they plants. They always give them honorary doctorates. Y'all notice that? That's how she a doctor, the honorary. She a doctor like Umo. In what's that light bulb head, Bugs light head ass girl? What's her name? Cheyenne Brown. One thing you notice about a plant, they're highly decorated when you meet them. Let me say it again. One thing, if you ever want to notice about a plant, they're very highly decorated when you meet them. And the reason they're highly decorated is because they need you to take them at face value. Now, from what I read, it sounds like the bitch is a glorified administrator and she over there working at the social work place. It didn't say she was a social worker. It said she was an administrator. That's a glorified goddamn hallway secretary. Okay? But she's in charge of diversity for adoption for children, but yet and still we find her in nigger business. How did she get here? How did she get to nigger business if she over there doing social work for diversity with children? Highly decorated, mind you. All these fake ass doctors. If I was a real doctor, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed beyond pissivity if I was a real doctor. If I went down to the schoolhouse for 12, 14, 16 years and struggled and scraped and got raped and I'm just playing. I didn't mean to say that. Or I'm saying, and got jacked up and all of that stuff to become a doctor, I would be pissed. Why would I say and got raped? Who gets raped to become a doctor? Where did that come from? I hope nobody is going through that to become a doctor. At any rate, I would be highly pissed is what I'm saying if I was a person that went through everything that I went through to become a doctor, and then all these people is coming up out of the woodwork claiming that they doctors. So why is this important? Like I said, I saw her at the Carmelo Anthony trial. Let me see if I can pull her up so y'all can see, because I need y'all to make it make sense to y'all. Hold on. I saw her at the end of the Carmelo Anthony trial, and she has so much to say about how things went wrong. But like I said, I find it odd that she wasn't there, nor did she say anything prior to. But let's get into what she said at the end, and so y'all can see her in rare. Oh, no sound? Y'all can't hear it? Oh, my bad. Let's try again. Oh, it does say my browser lost connection. Sorry. And I'm just watching down, girl. My bad. Let's go back. Try it again. Let me know if y'all can. Put a 3 in the chat if you can hear it this time. Hold on. Put a 3 in the chat if you can hear it this time.
We got a damn freak for the DA. Did you know that there is a 75-page federal lawsuit?
Did y'all hear that? Okay, y'all can hear it.
Sexual harassment of the DA that was saying that Carmelo Anthony is a murderer, where you need to be a registered sex offender suspect. Show you how disgusting this is.
All right, so I'm here with Dr. Candice Matthews in the flesh. We just finished the press conference. How do you think that press conference went?
I think the press conference went well because it was powerful, it was strategic, it was informative, and then it also had exposure. One thing that I loved about this press conference was that we got an action plan. We're not doing no rah-rah, okay? Now we know we are at the toughest fight at this fight right now, which is the appeal process. So I wanted to come out here so that the community do not have misinformation. You know what I mean? I wanted to come out here to expose these same suckers that try to do this to Carmelo. So stay tuned for that, baby, because it was explosive. We got a damn freak for the DA. Did you come out here to play? Bring it on. I came out here since you over here want to call this boy a murderer. Then we're gonna take the covers off you. Ain't nowhere in hell that you need to be a damn DA with this foolishness. Did you know? Hold this, please. I got you. That there is a 75-page federal lawsuit for sexual harassment of the DA that was saying that Carmelo Anthony is a murderer, where you need to be a registered sex offender sucker. Let me read.
You know what bothers me the most about this performance? Because that's what it is. Where were they when all of this shit was going down? Where were they when us at the grassroots was windmilling on the world? Because literally we had no celebrity support, no social activist support, no none of that. It's the timing of it all. But doesn't it remind you of when Tamika Mallory popped out after George Floyd got killed and then she shot into stardom? Doesn't it remind you how Benjamin Crump popped out after Trayvon Martin got killed and then he shot into stardom? Doesn't it remind you, if we can go on and on and on and on and on, and it's the same script. It's the same script. All these people with all of this shit to say, be quiet when it goes down. And let me tell you why. Because the world is a stage. They needed him to be found guilty first. Remember, the whole thing is to harvest the energy of Black Americans to disturb what we got going on. So in order for them to do that, they had to find him guilty the first time so that the quote unquote Black leaders can then swoop in like heroes and then come and get him off. That's the whole play. It's like somebody writing a script. Listen, Carmelo is going to be free. Let me help to ease some of y'all mind, because y'all don't understand the play. I understand what's happening here. Carmelo is going to go free. The Democrats and the NAACP is going to either get his time reduced or they're going to get him off. They're trying to get y'all back on the plantation. Come on, man. Oh. He's going to get off. He's either going to get off or he's going to get his time reduced. They needed it to play out this way to harvest your energy. They're going to take care of it. I promise you. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to get done. They're trying to get y'all. They're trying to disturb you. That's all they're trying to do. But my thing is this. With the Dr. Candice situation, if you had all of this information prior to, why didn't you come out with this when they were at trial or before the trial? Because according to Charleston White, he said he called you when he first hopped on the case. According to him, that's when they said that Charleston White said that the parents wanted to work with Benjamin Crump. But he said he had done already called Dr. Candice. So why didn't Dr. Candice come with this 75-page indictment or lawsuit on the DA before? Because she couldn't. She's waiting for her turn. Y'all ever acted in a play? You got to wait for your lines. It wasn't her turn yet. We wasn't at her part in the play yet. That's why she popped out at the end and was hollering, oh, the DA is a sex offender and he needs to be registered and She ain't no different from the Benjamin Crumps. She ain't no different from the rest of these fools. These people that pop up out of nowhere, highly decorated, fake doctors, acting as if they're on your side. These bitches is not nationwide. They playing in your face. But as long as Black Americans stay completely focused on their emotions, the more you'll be played with. You won't be able to see the play. Dr. Candice ain't worth 2 nickels. Sorry. Now, I want to show y'all this video I found of her. So apparently, her and some girl got into it at a store or at a restaurant for Juneteenth. And when her and the girl got into it, I paid attention to what the girl was saying. Now, apparently, this girl is related to her, literally, because she said that her cousin and her and the girl share a cousin. So the lady must have saw her in the store and listen to the argument and listen to what the lady with the Juneteenth shirt on is saying about Dr. Candice. I found it odd that she's in the store, in a restaurant about to get into a fight. Mind you, this is supposed to be an activist. But ultimately, she's got beef with a lot of people. And some of them are even her family. It says, random woman almost get maced. She threatened to mace the lady. But she almost gets maced after pulling up on activist Candice Matthews and alleging she's been talking about her and, quote, you'll get your ass whipped. The lady did say she'll whoop Candice's ass. Let's get into it.
Is that real related? You touch me? You touch me? Who related?
Louise, your aunt-in-law, Louise, Pac-Man's aunt. Yeah, that's my cousin too. And so
how you kin to Louise?
We know.
How you kin to Louise?
What I'm saying is that that's my family.
How you kin to Louise?
And what I'm saying is that they
how
know what
are
you're
you
doing.
kin?
Bitch,
Who?
get my name
You talking about my aunt? Who are you?
Get your ass whooped.
Who are you? Who are you?
You know who I am, bitch.
No, I don't.
You know who I am.
Who are you?
Something.
Who are you? You ain't finna do a goddamn thing. You ain't finna do shit. Shut up. You ain't finna do nothing to me. You not finna do nothing. You not finna do nothing to me. You not finna do nothing to me. You're not finna do nothing to me. You're not finna do nothing to me. You're not finna do nothing to me.
I know what you say I do, bitch.
Come to my house.
I know I will.
You're not finna do nothing to me.
You a scammer. You skip everybody.
Okay.
Her shit got exposed. Her child agency. You know my mama too.
Not gonna do that.
Is that Ma'am, she said she a scammer. She's scamming everybody. Her shit got exposed.
Who is your mama?
You know her too.
Who is your mama?
Agency, and she didn't want to
Who
do
is
it
your
the last
mama?
week.
Who is your
Bad
mama?
bitch. Bad
Who is your
bitch.
mama? Who your mama? Who your mama?
Fuck you, weak
Who
ass
your
bitch.
mama?
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Keep my name out your mouth.
And you better keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth, ma'am. Keep my name out your mouth.
You're a criminal now, ho.
No, I'm not.
You're a criminal now, bitch.
No.
You steal people's
No.
IDs from downtown.
No, never
She
done
steals
that.
people's IDs from downtown.
Never done that.
She works for Rosemary.
Never
She
done
steals
that.
your IDs downtown.
Never done that.
That bitch is
Never done that.
No
No.
activism. Don't do shit for
No.
nobody. Camilla.
No.
My purpose, nobody.
No.
Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
You not
You
finna
know
do nothing
that.
to me.
Fuck that. Spread
You
the
not
seed.
finna do nothing to
I'll bring
me.
your ass on this
You
bitch.
not finna do
And
nothing to
you know
me.
that.
You not finna do nothing
Tell
to
your
me.
security that
You
I
not
will
finna do
that.
that. You not finna do nothing to me.
I know.
You're not. I like the threat. I like that threat.
Hey, listen.
I like that
It's
threat.
okay.
Thank you.
You've been threatening me too.
Who is your mama?
You know her too.
Who is-
You've been threatening me too.
Thank you. I
got
like
you
the
too.
threat. I like
With your
that threat.
big ass Buddha and the big ass
That's
shit
nice.
you do.
I like
Guess
that
what?
threat.
I'm an E5
Thank
too.
you.
I do the same shit you do.
Thank you. Thank
My
you.
shit hit harder though.
Thank you. You done?
Are you done?
Are you done?
Are you?
Are you?
So
You
yeah,
done?
your auntie Louise should
Are
give
you
you a
done?
call.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You done?
Are you?
Are you done? Are you done? Because you're going to be locked up by the end of the day. You will be locked up.
You don't know who I know. That's why I pulled up.
Okay.
That's why I pulled up. You
Nice.
know who I know.
That's nice. That's
do all
nice.
that shit you be
That's
talking,
nice.
you got the right
That's
one.
nice. And you do too. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for that threat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. You'll be in jail by the night, ho.
You've been threatening me too.
Thank you. I like.
Sound like she told Candice, if you spray that mace, I'ma whoop your ass. See, Candice kept her hand off that button, huh? Why I believe the black girl was waiting on her to spray that mace. That girl said, bitch, you spray that mace and I'ma whoop your ass. She said, you know I ain't playing. That's why you ain't gonna spray it. I believe the black girl. I believe her. She looked like she ready to fight anyway. I believe it. But anyways, listen, man. Listen. Some of the things I heard the girl say was that she's stealing IDs. That means, I don't know if y'all know about this scam that be going on around cities, right? Apparently, there are companies that be taking identities of people and using them to file as workers on their taxes. Does that make sense? Because it gives you tax breaks and all kinds of stuff. So for instance, years and years ago, I remember my sister found out her social security number was used as saying that she worked at a company that she had never worked at, but it was a whole scheme. Y'all ain't never heard of that? They do it in New Orleans all the time, but New Orleans is a city of scams. You know what I'm saying? Miami. I know y'all scam more in Miami than anywhere. So I know y'all know in Miami. You feel what I'm saying? But when she says she's stealing IDs, I think that's what she means. I think what she means is so how it works is, let's say I own a company. And when it's time to file my taxes, I need tax breaks and I want to get all these provisions and things for my company. If I don't have a bunch of workers, if I find random names and social security numbers, I can file them and say that they work for me. Now, it works for people who don't work nowhere and wait for a refund, for the most part. But people who go work jobs and they file their taxes every year, they'll catch it. So when the girl said she was stealing IDs, that's the first thing came to my mind. Is this bitch stealing identities for tax purposes and things of that nature? Because it's a real big thing in New Orleans, like I said. But anyways, the argument, it wasn't about the argument itself, but it was kind of more or less about what the girl was saying. I told y'all that I don't believe that Dr. Candice is who we think that she is. I think that her just popping out of nowhere, jumping out the window, now she's this so-called activist. She came from social work, being an administrator. I'm sorry, not a social worker. An administrator. Oh, what the hell? Did it take me off? She was an administrator, right? Not a worker, not a social worker from what it seems, but she was an administrator at the place. And then now all of a sudden she is this social activist, decorated fake doctor who pulls up to the Carmelo Anthony trial once everything is already over, I'm telling you now, this lady is a plant. This is not somebody who genuinely is here for the cause of Black Americans. This lady, I believe, is a plant. And that's why she's all loud and gaudy like that. When I say gaudy, I say gaudy. But she's super gaudy, meaning you can see her from a mile away. She wears the hat. She's got the colors and the nails. She makes you, she has almost like a costume. Like what's that girl name? Like Jasmine Crockett with the wig. It's something that you have to notice her by. That's all the makings of a plant. I don't trust her, but I don't trust nobody. So that goes that. But I don't trust her. We'll deal with her on another day because I'm pretty positive she's going to come back up. I'm just telling Black America, stop looking for saviors. You are your own savior. If you tap in and you do your genealogy and you ground and you meditate, you'll realize that you don't need outside entities to speak on your behalf. You can do it for yourself, okay? The girl said she was bad built. She is built a little crazy. But let's move on. Get the likes up on the video. Ooh, let's talk about this. We got to get into Tariq Nasheed and the FBA Psyop because that's going to roll up together. All right. So I want to start by talking about, what's the other thing I said? Oh, Black American income. Black America. Let me say this. I don't think y'all realize that you really run the world with your income. Hold on, let me pull up the video. Black Americans don't understand how they do better and fare better even amongst other poors in America. Hear me out. The poorest of the poorest Black American lives way better than the middle class or a poor person any other place on earth. Even if you live in the projects, a Black person in America lives better than the mass majority of people all over the world. If you think I'm lying, think about it like this. Why do you think when the Africans come over here, they say that we're ungrateful? At least you niggas have the running water. You niggas have lights and you niggas are still complaining because we are richer than we give ourselves credit because in our mind, let me back it up because I want to make sure I say this right. The reason why Black Americans live the way that we live and thrive and strive for more is because we understand in the soul, from our soul memory, what we had and where we came from. Y'all ever heard that trope on the internet? Oh, we was kings. It's real. So when you see Black Americans living beyond their means, spending money on this, it's a natural, it's a soul remembrance, okay? It's what you remember doing. All right. But even at the poorest of you, you still live better than the majority of them. That's why they look at you and say you're ungrateful. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because we don't understand how well we do. We're being enforced and taught and indoctrinated every day that we are minorities and that we don't have nothing, even though we physically cross money in our hands like nothing. But they tell us every day it's like a spell. Every day we get told that we're the minorities. Every day we get told that we're the bottom of the barrel. And because of that, if you believe it, it is so. Even if you got the money in your pocket, if you believe it, it is so. They know that. You don't believe it. That's why they're telling you this. And you running around here, oh, I don't know what I was going to do. That's why, because they done told it and you believe it. But if you believe it, it is so. If you believe it, it is so. I need y'all to understand that, okay? Now, they tell us we're poor. They tell us we're doing bad. And for where we come from, we are, because we really should own the world. So technically, we are not doing as best as we could. However, we ain't doing nowhere near as bad as the rest of America. And this is why they say we have the highest spending power, because Black Americans are under a witchcraft and a spell that makes them believe that they are less than what they really are. This is not to say that you're not really struggling, because I know there are people who really are struggling. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying collectively as a whole. Collectively as a whole, Black America, you're not doing nowhere near as bad as you think you are. And if we just change our mindsets and start switching some things around, we'll be able to see that what I'm saying is true. Okay? Now, I want to get into this video from this clear man. Hold on. There was a clear man who did a video and he spoke about the wealth of Black Americans, right? Or at least the income, or the wealth. I want to share it with y'all, okay? It says Black Americans are the most financially successful Black population anywhere in the world. Think about it. Think about all your other melanated groups of people. Your Africans. See, they lie and tell y'all Africa is so rich. And I'm not saying the soil isn't rich, but they lie and tell you that Africans, because they from Africa, they buku rich. Cap. Most of them people are living below the poverty line, okay? The large number of those, I ain't gonna say most, a large number of those people are living below the poverty line, or at least what we would call the poverty line here in America. But because the stories and the witchcraft has been embedded in your brain that Africa is so rich, you can't fathom that. So you look to there to find your richness in your inheritance, in all the gold, when you literally have it on you right here. That's the trick. That's the trick, to make you think the wealth is over there. So while they take it from you over here. Okay, I want to get into this video with this man. Y'all get the likes up on the video.
Do you realize that Black people in America, okay, are the most financially successful across the spectrum of Black people in any other country in the world?
I did not know that statistic.
That Black Americans would be in the 95th percentile for income in any other country in the world. On average, that Black Americans have more successful businesses in America. Do you realize? So
it's a short clip, but what he's saying is true. Collectively, Black Americans are very successful financially. This is why the poorest nigga you know keep his hair cut. This is why the poorest girl you know keep her hair and her nails done. Because listen, like the man say, in any other country, we'd be amongst the 94 and the 95 percentile because of the money that leaves our hands. And if it leave our hands, that means we getting it somehow, some way. Again, the only reason why we haven't caught on is because we believe that we're poor. I know it sounds crazy. You probably over there saying, voodoo girl, shut your duck ass up, bitch. I just checked my account, bitch. I really am poor. I get it. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is collectively, if you think about the money that done came through your hands, and if we honest with ourselves, you ain't got to say it on the live, but if we honest with ourselves, a lot of us has messed up a lot of money. We do have the spending power and we are not doing bad. Even when we living in our slums, we living better than the mass majority of the earth. This is a spell for y'all to believe that you're poor. If you believe it, it is so. Even if you look in your account and see zero, if you believe it, it's really that simple. If you believe it, it is so. You got to start shifting your reality, shifting your mind to match your reality, okay? Or shifting your reality to match your mind. Does that make sense? We have the spending power. We have the money. We just don't know what to do with it, okay? Even myself, when I was even when I was living in my era where I was struggling and barely could make ends meet, it's some things I could have moved around and would have made some more stuff happen. But you know how it goes, it's life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we broke but not poor. Thank you, Rian. We're broke but not poor. Does that make sense? Now, I want to show y'all something else, because this is going to segue into this FBA thing with the Tariq thing. Hold on. And it really do start with a mindset. I know y'all may not believe it, but it really do start with a mindset. Now, y'all remember we got the boycotts going, right? With all the Asians. Not only are the Asians upset, but other black melanated people are upset too. But they are upset because they can't tether on to our thing. And the reason why, remember I told you, Black America, you are the site. Y'all ever heard, oh, let's go to the circus so we can see the sights? You, Black America, are why everybody is here. Everybody here to come take a look at you and to take your money and your income. They know that you're not broke or poor. That's why they're here to sell you their products. Why you think the Asians is in the nigger community? Why you think the Jamaicans is in the nigger community? They rarely in white communities because they know where the money at. Remember, I just told you it's witchcraft. Now, since we started boycotting, a lot of African and Caribbeans been feeling some type of way. Now, one thing I did notice is they've been lying, saying that they're black owned on the paper so that people can come in and they can shop with them because they realize we're shifting our economics back to our own people. Okay? But like I said with the Caribbeans, it really pissed me off with y'all, but I get it. Y'all don't know who y'all are either. It really pissed me off because y'all decided to mix in and group in. Not all. A lot of them decided to mix and group in with them Africans, and now y'all gonna take the lick with the Africans too. Let's get into this girl talk about how Black Americans are not supporting other Black-owned businesses. Remember, the clear man said Black Americans are in the 94, 95 percentile amongst all Blacks all over the world, Craig. That's why everybody over here to sell us something. That's why everybody is over here to sell us something. Let's get into it.
I want to disagree with this statement because as a Caribbean Black American, and I say Caribbean first because we have something called broughtopsy. Look that word up, broughtopsy.
Did y'all see how she just tethered on to Black American? Remember I told y'all at some point we're going to have to get rid of the term Black American? Remember, I know what I said. I was there when I said it. Did you see how quickly she tried to tether on to Black American by saying she's a Caribbean Black American? Let me run it back.
I want to disagree with this statement because as a Caribbean Black American, and I say Caribbean first because we have something called broughtopsy. Look that word up, broughtopsy. We have that.
I don't even know what broughtopsy means, but either way, what they're trying to do is tether on to us because we are the anchors. We are the people that's going to propel this whole thing forward. Also, our money, our spending power. And this is the gag with Caribbean people. Why is y'all acting like we have an issue with y'all, girl? We ain't going to stop buying that Jamaican food. A lot of the Caribbeans that are tethering on to the Africans, y'all really catching strays on y'all own. A lot of y'all catching strays on y'all own. You know that, right? But again, neither here nor there. Girl, they're trying to tack on because they know who we are. They know exactly who we are. Hold on. And outside of the food, Caribbeans don't really offer much to America. Outside of the food, now that I'm thinking about it, outside of some oxtail, some jerk chicken, and something like that, you know what I'm saying? They don't really offer much to Black America. Let's get into DC mayor, prior DC mayor, Marion Barry. Y'all remember him? He was one of the only Black people in DC, or Black mayors in DC, that wanted to make sure Black American businesses thrive and Black Americans thrive. That's why they hurry up and got him out the paint. Now, he was on crack. He smoked crack and he fucked hoes. Yes, he did. However, he cared about niggas. So they used his vices to get him about the paint. They've exposed him for being on crack and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, crack or no crack, he did more for Black Americans in DC than anybody I know. So crack or no crack, he did more and he advocated more for niggas in DC than anybody I know. Put some respect on his name. He a crackhead, but put some respect on that. It's Mr. Crackhead to you. Okay, now let's get into it. It says DC Mayor Marion Barry was a real one who understood, and it don't need to be explained. Now he's going to talk about black economics. No, the Asians and how all these other people in the community. Check it out.
Something about these Asians coming in, open up business, these little dirty shops, and they ought to go. I just say that right now. You know, but we need African American business people to be able to take their place.
You've got a really high profile, and people really like you, and they want to like you. I want to like you. I really do. I come to DC. I don't live here, but I love your town. Why you got to get all racial with the businesses?
What racial?
With the Asians in the dirty shops.
That's not racial.
How is that not racial?
Well, I'm not going to go through it if you don't understand it.
Well, I would like to understand it, so tell me.
There's a cultural difference between a number of ethnic groups.
Yeah.
Whether Hispanics or whether it's Asian, whether it's white people. When there is a cultural difference because of our socialization, because of segregation, discrimination. All this adds to it and affects every aspect of our life.
I understand, like, I don't want to go to a dirty restaurant, but why you got to bring Asian into it?
Because the fact is that 95% of the carryouts in Ward 8 are owned and managed by Asians.
So
I was in Las Vegas, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin had their fight. I'm walking 8 in the morning down on the strip. I see Marion Barry, and I'm like, hey, Marion Barry, DC Mayor. He said, hey, don't nobody up here know I'm mayor. You blowing my cover.
So they're going to take Marion Barry's casket out of the Wilson building behind me and take it to many of the city's wards as part of a 3-day celebration honoring Mayor Barry's life.
He gave him a first on the job.
Oh, rest in peace to Marion Barry. And I love that they had a second line. But think about what he was saying. When he was talking about how dirty the restaurants are, and he said 95% of the businesses in this time are Asian. Y'all, they got videos all over the Instagram, Facebook with them cutting meat outside on the ground and rats. And we all know them Asian restaurants be dirty as fuck. I know y'all like eating that shit, so y'all don't want to say it out loud. But anybody with anybody and anybody with a brain knows that them Asian restaurants be dirty AF. That's the truth. And what he was doing during this time is trying to advocate for more Black American businesses. He called us African American, but he was trying to advocate for more of us to own businesses. That's why he spoke about how they dirty in the restaurants and how it's a cultural difference. Y'all, the industry made America hate DC Mayor Marion Barry, but they understood how powerful he was. That's why they got him out the paint. Okay, he did more for Black Americans than any other mayor I know that was up there, and I don't know no other one, so don't get me the line. But you know what I'm saying? At least none in my time. I ain't heard no clear ones or no Hispanic ones do for niggas the way Marion Barry did. You see what I'm saying? So he didn't lie about that, but he foresaw that then. He said 95% of these restaurants be dirty AF and they Asians. He was advocating for more of us to own businesses. But remember, in the 90s, especially in the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Remember, that's a 40-year time period where they were shutting down Black American businesses, 90 going west. Right after Mike marched us up to the mountain, hollering free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Remember? Right after we marched our ass up that mountain, them crackers went to shutting down our schools, our post offices, our banks, our hospitals, all our small businesses, our cleaners. They were shutting them down like 90 going west. And that is why Marion Barry was fighting during that time to make sure more Black Americans can have their jobs, because he understood that we are being replaced. Okay? Remember, the internet wants you to hate him because they know what he did for you, but they want you to love Martin Luther King. Somebody make it make sense. Martin done marched us up the mountaintop and took all our inheritance, and they got us celebrating every year. Marion Barry wanted us to open back up our businesses, and they got us calling him a crackhead. Y'all be honoring the wrong ancestors, bruh. Y'all be honoring the wrong ancestors. And Martin ain't none of y'all ancestors, no way. He a tether. Moving on. Let me show y'all this video with this lady. Because remember, the boycott has been working, okay? This lady talk about how the Asians are cosplaying Black businesses. Y'all get into it.
So you have people out here that are only supporting Black American-owned businesses. I just saw this girl promoting her nail shop, and she has an accent. She's African, I think from the Congolese or whatever the case is. Her shop is right here, legal entity, doing things legally, right? She came here legally. She's opened her business, doing her thing. And the comments are like, oh, well, it's not Black American owned, so I'm not supporting it. So now we're picking and choosing what Black owned businesses to support because they're not Black American owned. Like, are y'all slow?
You know, it's ironic that people who need us to patronize their businesses will like to insult us. And you stupid ass bitch, whenever we said Black owned, it was never all Blacks. In our minds, Black owned meant us anyway. You bitches came later and tried to tether on to the Black owned term. Whenever we said in the past that we were shopping Black owned, typically it was with ourselves. Remember, all these African businesses that y'all see now literally just started popping up in the last 5 to 10 years. Africans didn't own no beauty stores and all that shit. Whenever we ever said Black owned, it has always been us in our minds thinking of each other. And we have every right to say we don't want to patronize a Caribbean business or African business or Black Hispanic business because y'all patronize each other. Y'all practice group economics every time y'all come over here. Y'all don't never practice nothing with us. Y'all fly y'all flags. Y'all be happy. I'm proud Trini, proud Jamaican, proud this, proud African, proud happy, proud all of this shit. Now, y'all don't, this is what happened. They came over here to sell us the shit. If we stop buying the shit, it literally shuts down their whole business. That's why they don't go home and sell it. That's why they come over here to sell us the oxtails. Because ain't nobody at home buying that shit. They cook them at their own house. Okay? Now, this is important because we are doing something. This is an economic shift. It's not a boycott. We're actively and persistently shopping with our own, and that's okay. Don't let nobody guilt trip you, Black America, into feeling like what you're doing is wrong. They do it. Every single group comes here and do exactly what we are doing. They could carry their ass home and sell their products, but they refuse to do that. Because they know where the money resides. They coming over here to these Black Americans who's supposed to be broke, but we somehow have money to fund all of their businesses. You see what I'm saying? At any rate, I want to get into Tariq Nasheed because that's where I want to go. Before we get into this Psyop thing for the Black Americans, I want to get into this Tariq Nasheed bit. So remember yesterday we spoke about Godfrey, right? Godfrey, the quote-unquote comedian. Let me get him up here. Godfrey has this 154 podcast. Hold on. What should I look for? Godfrey has this 154 podcast, right? Now, this is the gag with Godfrey and this podcast. It's supposed to be talking about Africa. On this podcast, they supposed to have nothing but Africans over here speaking about Africa. That's why they call it the 154 podcast, right? But it seemed like every time they come on the internet, they speaking on niggas. They never talking about Africa, or at least they never going viral for talking about Africa. Do you know why they're never going viral for talking about Africa? Because nobody gives a fuck. There's that. Nobody cares. I had to say the quiet part out loud. Even Africa don't give a damn. So they put this show out, this podcast. I'm talking about Godfrey. Godfrey does this podcast, calls it the 154 Africa podcast, where they're supposed to be talking about Africa relations, yet and still, every time he had one of his tether buddies on there, all they do is sit around and talk about niggas. Talk about Black Americans, how we always complaining, how it's always this, it's everything. They never get on there and talk about trying to reunite Africa in the 54 countries that they got. You never hear that. All you hear is these Nigerian tethers getting amongst each other, dragging for us. But yet and still, Godfrey is allegedly supposed to be on our side. Allegedly. Godfrey in the past has helped up for Black Americans, which was very performative, in my opinion. He has helped up for Black Americans. He's corrected people on our history. But yet and still, it seems like when he gets to the 154 podcast, all of that shit goes out the window. Him and all his tether buddies get around, slap five and slap knees, and laugh and joke and drag for Black Americans. I have a problem with that. And my problem with that, number one, is Black America, stop looking outside of you for allies. You don't need them. You your own ally. We got each other as our allies. We don't need them. They need us. Number one. Number two, Godfrey did a very good job of cosplaying an ally to the community. He's been all in our movies. He's been all on our comedy stages. He loves correcting a few Africans when it comes down to him being amongst us. But it seemed like when he get amongst his own kind, he get to laughing and thinking the shit is funny. So we're going to get into the place in question. So Godfrey has this 154 podcast, and on the podcast, we're going to get into a few of the people that come on here and what they have to say. Everybody comes on this podcast to drag for Black Americans. Now, why is this important? We're going to get into it, but this is Tariq Nasheed, homeboy, and Tariq Nasheed is supposed to be the grandfather of FBA. But when the FBA people went to Tariq and said, hey, bro, your partner over there running this podcast got everybody coming on there dragging for us. Guess what Tariq said? Oh, well, he cool with me, though. So I guess it's fuck FBA. And now I know I'm being messy, but I'm being honest. It must be fuck FBA when it comes to my partners. I'm all for FBA. I'm 100% FBA until it come to one of my partners. So because Godfrey is cool with Tariq, Tariq refuses to say anything negative about Godfrey hosting a podcast space to have nothing but tethers come on there and drag for Black Americans day in and day out. But Tariq's supposed to be the grandfather of FBA? Oh. Let's get into a few clips. We ain't gonna go. I'm a slow roll y'all in it. I'm a slow roll y'all in it because I don't want none of the FBA Tariq people to come over here and be mad and say, oh, Voodoo, you just hating on Tariq because Tariq got 100,000 subscribers and Tariq be on TikTok and you just mad because you ain't Tariq. You know how the niggas do. You know what I'm saying? And is you FBA? You might not be FBA. For all I know, they get to go in and do stupid shit like that. But before we get into that, let's get into some of the things that happens on the 154 podcast. I need y'all to be able to see it. Here goes some of the Nigerians and other people talking about the people on, talking about us on this 154 podcast.
We have to kiss. And then all of a sudden I hear
the hatred between Africans and Caribbeans is so strong.
This is Windrush, right?
God.
Windrush came when, what is the Windrush? The 1930s?
Yeah, when Caribbeans came over to England to help after the First World War. So,
yes, right.
You know, they came over the 40s and 50s and 60s. They came. Yeah. And, you know, that colonialism, they brainwashed Caribbeans, Jamaicans, and didn't even know that they were descended from Africans.
Right.
Because they were not. And again, this 154 podcast is not about Africa. It ain't never about Africa. Everything they say on this podcast got something to do with niggas or the Caribbeans. That's why I tell the Caribbeans, see when y'all be aligning with them, I just laugh because y'all gonna go down with them. Y'all really think y'all one of them and y'all really over there aligning with them over hatred for Black America, and you will go down with them.
I went to school with kids who had no idea. No, man, I'm Jamaican. We're talking about. My mom and dad are Jamaican. And I'd be like, you weren't in, your ancestors were brought to you. They did not know. Wow. Until Roots came out.
Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all the reason y'all believe y'all from Africa is from the fucking movie? Man, watch y'all. I know what the fuck I said.
They didn't know because they were deliberately kept uneducated. Yes. So because of that, there was a chasm.
Look at how a movie can literally change your identity. And it didn't just happen in Jamaica, even in America. The only reason most Black Americans believe they African is because of that fucking movie Roots. And he already came out and said that it was all cap. Come on, man. Moving on.
She's a horrible woman.
What did she do to you? Get out of debt.
Moving on.
Paul Mooney said it best. I'm going to tell you why white folks are mad. White folks are mad because got away. Got away. Got away. It's because they don't have slaves anymore. He goes, when we was free, we didn't have no jobs. When we were slaves, we had 12 jobs. He said, imagine if slavery was to come back, they'd be like, oh, welcome home.
Welcome back.
We haven't seen you in a long time. Your room is exactly the way we left it. Paul Mooney.
And look at her sweater saying immigrants make America. Everything he has on this podcast, all of the comments are about everything except Africa. Everything except Africa. He had David Oyuelo, whatever his name is, on there talking about Black Americans are subservient accents with the Southern accent, all type of shit. Look at this.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate it, but African Americans have always been hardworking.
But no, African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know.
But opportunity.
What about the appreciation of the hard work for the immigrants who came to this country and worked hard?
But here's the thing is the Civil Rights Bill is the reason why our parents got to come over here. 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist son of bitches on the planet, had to sign that civil rights. But Martin Luther King is sitting right next to him.
Right. Yeah.
So that is the reason why Koreans can come here. Koreans, Indians, Arabs, Nigerians.
And he's right. That's when the influx of immigrants came in. I know a lot of y'all don't know that. That's the 60s. But this is what he does. He'll correct them on one podcast and then laugh with them on another one.
It's because of the Civil Rights Bill. Right. It's because of African Americans, foundational black, coming in here, busting their ass, being treated like shit, being hung, lynched, Jim Crow. From slavery was Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction, being promised that they were going to get this.
Well, we appreciate that.
We appreciate it, but African Americans have always been hardworking.
But no, African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know.
But opportunity.
What about the appreciation of the?
And that's the thing. It's called the 154 podcast, but every time you turn around, they talking about us. They don't rarely talk about the other parts of Africa. They don't talk about the genocide that's going on in Africa. They don't talk about the fighting, the wars. They don't talk about the unity. They don't talk about nothing when it comes to Africa, except when they're in relation to try to make it seem like we are a part of them. And mind you, these are the new Africans. West Africans are the brand new Africans of the whole entire continent. Clones, Cabbage Patch Kids, these goddamn Nigerians are. And they on here with this 154 Africa podcast talking about everything except Africa. What's his name? Godfrey created and curated a space on his 154 podcast to allow these tethers to come on there and drag for us day in and day out. Every time we on here talking about something from that podcast, it is due to the disrespect of the tethers that are on it. And I have a huge problem with that, because you can't on one hand have our backs and say that we are the people who allowed y'all to come over here, then turn around and say that Black America, or laugh at the joke about Black Americans having a slave accent or subservient accent. That don't go like that. He talking out both sides of his neck. And as a tether, I want to go out on a limb and say he ain't on our side. At the end of the day, Godfrey is a Nigerian first. He is a Nigerian first, not second, not third, not fourth, not fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth. He is a Nigerian first. And no matter how long he been over here, his loyalty and his respect goes back home to his country. I ain't mad at it. My problem is, why you over here cosplaying with us? Godfrey has never been an ally. He does enough to look like an ally, but he's not an ally. He's capitalized off of impersonating all of the people in America. You rarely hear him impersonate the Africans. But he's capitalized and made a whole career off of impersonating the people in America. He's not funny. He's just a great impersonator. And all he's been doing is impersonating an ally this whole time. That nigga been up here impersonating an ally. We missed his biggest trick of them all. His biggest impersonation trick of them all is him on here acting like he on our side. Fuck Godfrey. There you go. I'm not like other people. I don't have relationships with these people, nor do I care about them enough at least enough to say I'm gonna give them a pass on disrespecting the whole of my people, especially when my whole job is here to wake up my people and show them who the enemies are. Why would I then come on here and tell y'all, oh, well, Godfrey all right, though? At least, no. If you over there with them, then nigga, you go down with them too. I think like that. Not everybody. Tariq Nasheed has a difference of opinion, but I keep telling y'all, Tariq Nasheed is an agent as well. Allegedly. Y'all just don't want to hear it because he's funny. He's cool. He makes movies with your money. But because he's funny, he does great shows on Twitter, and he makes good movies, y'all can't see the forest for the trees. At the end of the day, Tariq Nasheed has lied to y'all about a whole lot of shit. First and foremost, the wife. The wife that he has, that he keeps telling y'all is foundational Black American, is not. She's a Haitian and a clear mixed up together. None of that makes foundational Black American. But because y'all like him, y'all let him get on the internet every day and tell y'all, my beautiful wife is a foundational Black American. Foundational Black my ass. No, she's not. No, she's not. And if a nigga lie about something frivolous like that, I don't trust nothing the nigga gotta say. Because why would you lie about something that we could find the truth about? Again, y'all got to be able to peep the play. If a nigga will lie to you about something that's small and frivolous about his wife's ethnicity, then you got to question everything that nigga say. Now, I already believe this nigga is an op and a paid one too. Every time I turn around, Tariq is taking trips to Africa. For all the Tariq Nasheed people in the chat, why does Tariq Nasheed continue to go to Africa? What the fuck does they got over there? And why does he continue to go? Niggas don't vacation in Africa. It's given to me. This is my conspiracy theory. It's given to me. He's getting paid by the same people paying Godfrey. And that's why he running his ass down to Africa at least annually, or probably every other biannually. And to pick up his orders, okay? And that's why, and when y'all understand this pyramid thing, y'all are going to see these people can and can't do certain things with certain people because the people in charge of them tell them they can't. I get it. Tariq is funny as fuck. I've listened to his show. He's hilarious. I'm never taking that from him. And his movies are good-ish. Because a lot of misinformation be in them movies. But they're good. They're very good for us. And I love that he's crowdfunding. But this is the thing. Let me bring up the crowdfunding too. Let me bring up the crowdfunding too, because I remember the 19 Keys situation happened. And I remember when 19 Keys came on here and basically dragged for FBA, y'all went and told him to take 19 Keys out the movie. Somebody drop down in the comment, because y'all paid for the movie. Did he take 19 Keys out the movie? Drop down in the comments. Put a 1 in the chat if he took 19 Keys out the movie. Put a 2 in the chat if 19 Keys is still in the movie. I really want to know. This is a genuine question. Did 19 Keys get taken out of the movie? Nigga said 19 scams. Who watched the movie? Anybody watch the movie? They say he's still in there. Somebody said 1, somebody. 2 if he in there, 1 if he's not. 2 if 19 Keys is still in the movie, 1 if he's not. Is he out the movie? He's not in the movie. Because I heard he was. Anyway, 19 Keys was another person, because I don't know, the chat is kind of switched. And so what Tariq does is he does movies about Black American history now. I know at one point he was doing it about Haitian history. He was doing a lot about African history when he was on his Pan-African kick. But he does now, he's been doing a lot of American history. But it's given to me, he's grifting off of the Indians, off of the people in America who already know our American descent. Now he's over there telling people we had ethnogenesis and that we mixed in with the Native Americans. Bullshit. I told y'all all of that's a lie. Neither here nor there, because I don't even want to get off on that. Listen. Tariq Nasheed, I believe, is an agent. And the reason I believe he's an agent, because number one, his past and the way he came about is very, very questionable. He started and jumped off the porch in ADOS, the American descendants of slaves. He came in as an ally. And then, like all of the ones before him, he then branched off into the FBA thing. Drag for Yvette Carnell, which fuck her too, but drag for Yvette Carnell, created the FBA thing, but because he has charisma and because he has a personality, more people gravitated toward him. But all he did was take the ADOS doggone platform and then upgraded it. He took the same shit and just added a little sprinkle more to it. So now he has the FBA thing going, and it's a huge movement. I'm here for it, especially the delineation part, because that part is prophetic and it's biblical. It had to happen. However, Tariq Nasheed as a person is not who you think that he is, allegedly. And it told me everything I needed to know, which I already knew before this. But when the people went to Tariq and said, hey, Tariq, bro, your homeboy Godfrey keep hosting these podcasts, putting these tethers on these podcasts, and on these podcasts, they dragging for Black America. You need to get on your platform and say something. Remind you, his whole fund, everything that he gets come from the grassroots. The people literally fund his movements, his movies, his movements, his museum. The grassroots, the people are taken out of their pockets to make sure that they can give him money so that he can produce things for us. So technically, Tariq Nasheed works for the grassroots. Does that make sense? If the people who are paying the bills are the people questioning him and asking him to say something, he should then go and say it, because those people are technically his bosses. If y'all are funding the movies and y'all are funding the museum and y'all are funding all of his shit, you are his boss. You supposed to tell him what to do. Okay? So when y'all went to him and said, hey, Tariq, bro, your homeboy, your little partner over here, keep running these Africans up on this podcast to drag for us. They expected Tariq to say, hey, Godfrey, bro, that's messed up. I represent FBA. I'm part of FBA. And what you doing is jacked up. Could you say something? No. You know what Tariq said? Godfrey's my friend. So that's different. And you know what that's translated to me? Fuck y'all. That's what I got from it. Fuck y'all. There's no way the people who fund your whole shit can come to you and say, hey, bro, this ain't cool. And you just come back and say, but that's my partner. That's what I got. Fuck y'all from it. Let's get into Tariq. So the people went to him and had him come on the internet and say something. Now, this is the gag with Tariq. He had everything to say about the lady on the podcast, but nothing to say about Godfrey. Let's get into it, y'all. Get the lights up on the video.
It has Godfrey on there. This other gentleman, I can't think of his name. I think he lived out here in LA. He was a football player. I can't think of his name. But they have very interesting guests. They bring on a lot of their fellow African guests on this show. And a lot of them, their guests, those African guests, and we just saw, you say Godfrey can't ride the fence. I know a lot of people have been on Godfrey and they want me to go in on Godfrey. But, to be honest, Godfrey has always been very respectful to me, all right? Godfrey has been every time I talk to Godfrey has always been very respectful to me. So I don't just go in on people just to be going in on them. He's always been respectful to me. So that, and I like Godfrey. He's funny to me. He's a great comic.
So my thing is this, because Godfrey is respectful to you, he gets to be respectful to all of FBA. Somebody help me out. So because Godfrey is cool with you and he's respectful to you, he then gets a pass, and now he gets to host the 154 Africa podcast. Well, he continues to have Tethers come on the show and drag for FBA. Because I guess it's not about FBA as a whole. It's about Tariq. I read the comments, and somebody in the comments said maybe Godfrey is funding a lot of his movies. Maybe. But the fact that he refuses to say anything about Godfrey, and this is King FBA, I am of confusion. No way. If this was any other person, Tariq Nasheed, especially like a Myron Gaines or anybody else, he would have came on here and dragged for days. But because it's Godfrey, that's different. He's funny. He's respectful to me. Fuck FBA. We don't care about that. He's respectful to me. Let me run him back. He's respectful to me.
There's this podcast. Is it 154 Africa, something like that? 154. I think that's the name of it. It has Godfrey on there. This other gentleman, I can't think of his name. I think he lived out here in LA. He was a football player. I can't think of his name. But they have very interesting guests. They bring on a lot of their fellow African guests on this show. And a lot of them, their guests, those African guests, and we just saw, you said Godfrey can't ride the fence. I know a lot of people have been on Godfrey and they want me to go in on Godfrey. But, to be honest, Godfrey has always been very respectful to me, all right? Godfrey has been every time I talk to Godfrey has always been very respectful to me. So I don't just go in on people just to be going in on them. But
even if he didn't go in on Godfrey, let's say that's true. Godfrey, his partner, he respectful to him. Why not call Godfrey behind the scenes like, bro, I'm getting a lot of calls from my people. This is given that we believe Godfrey don't have the powers that be behind him. Because this is given the fact that y'all believe that Godfrey is doing this on his own is one thing, because he's not. Godfrey has a system behind him. They are the ones funding the 154 podcast. And they the ones setting up the guests, setting up the talking points. They doing all of that. But let's just go for all intents and purposes that we believe Godfrey is the one running the show. Why couldn't Tariq Nasheed get on the phone on the back end and say, hey, Godfrey, bro, I'm getting a lot of calls about the people coming on your show. Like, what's up? Oh, yeah, but the FBA saying they hella disrespectful. And, me and you cool. But at the end of the day, I might have to say something in a while if you keep having people on your show. You know what I'm saying? And then he could have definitely came back here and say, yo, Godfrey is my partner, but I did have a conversation with him about it behind the scenes and this, that, and the third. He don't have to curse Godfrey out. It's just a matter of the FBA people were coming to you as their person in charge. He said he not no leader, but whatever. But they're coming to you as the person who get online every day and tell them that they had an ethnogenesis and that they're African but not. So they're coming to you to say, hey, bro, check your partner. And you go and tell the people, the same people who look up to you, you telling them, nah, he cool with me. He with me. That's a major problem. That's a huge problem. Because that means if Godfrey gets a pass, who else have Tariq been given a pass? Let me let him go back into it.
Always been respectful to me. So that and I like Godfrey. He's funny to me. He's a great comic. So yeah, I don't just flip on people. Godfrey's always been cool. He's always been cool with me. All right. So I don't just be flipping on people like that. Yeah. But the thing is, on the show, some of these guests, boy, you know, they had on what's his name, David Oyelowo. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And I talked about that last week, how he got on there. He was on that show talking about the Black American Southern accent is a Nigerian accent slowed down with some subservience on it. It has some subservience and some slavery on it. It was some real passive aggressive shit. All right. It was very passive aggressive. So they had another guest, and they've had some problematic conversations on this broadcast. They talk a lot about foundational Black Americans. All right.
So why not call Godfrey, even if you don't want to drag him on? Let's just, because remember, he said he don't want to drag him. Why not call Godfrey and check him about that? Even if you check him in a respectful way, like, bro, I thought you was on our side. What's up? So he acknowledges that damn near all of their podcasts be about us. Tariq is acknowledging this. And he's going to drag for everybody except Godfrey.
So they had this woman, Gina Yashiri. Is it Yashir or Yashiri? How am I pronouncing it right? I want to be respectful of people's names. Is it Gina Yashiri or Yashir? All right. Let me see. Okay. Yashire. Okay, so it is Yashire. Okay, so Gina Yashire was recently on there. She was the writer on the show Bob and Abasola. All right. Now, we've talked about that show before, that Bob and Abasola show, how problematic it was. This show was on CBS. All right. We've been calling out the anti-FBA sentiments on this show for a minute. All right. Yeah, she was in that Bob and Abasola show. Right. But she was the writer of that show. She wrote
Somebody
a lot.
said he'll check the woman, but not the man. I went and pulled up the clip. You're right. He will check the woman, but not the man. I went and pulled up the clip that he's going to talk about. So, because to fast forward it, this woman went on the 154 podcast. Here it goes. And she talked about how she did this show, and it was about Black Americans and Africans together, right? And in the show, according to her, she was trying to be passive aggressive with the bullshit. She wrote in the show that I guess the characters, she was talking to her daughter, and she was telling her daughter that the people she can marry, and at the very bottom of the list were Black Americans. And they were saying because the Nigerians don't believe that they should intertwine with Black Americans. We already know that, though. And I'm going to play the clip. This is the clip that Tariq is about to go in on the lady for. Mind you, she's sitting across from Godfrey, who's laughing and yeah, he don't have nothing to say about Godfrey, but everything to say about the woman. Here go the clip.
African Americans and Africans.
Oh, yes.
What they call it? They call it
the FBAs versus the foundational Black Americans.
Yeah, so I slipped in a lot of stuff like that in the show without them knowing. They didn't get it.
Right.
But I slipped in some stuff to say, look, guys, we're all one. I mean, people took it wrong. Like there was one episode.
This is the foundation of this episode. 154 is to bring all of us together because there was that murmur. And it was like, this stuff was manufactured in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
This should not be a real thing.
Yeah. So I try to slip stuff in there to discuss it. And you know, I started some discussions. There was one episode where they misunderstood completely and they came for me hard. There's an episode where my character was like, oh, you know, Abishola's been followed by this white man. The top is the white man. The bottom is the African, you know, that whole thing. But that's how old school Africans think.
Yeah.
And
she put in her video or in her show that the lady was telling her daughter that the best man to marry is the white man. He's the one at the top. And the worst man to marry is the Black American man. He's at the bottom. Now, according to her, she want to be passive aggressive and say she was just trying to bring awareness because that's the way the old Nigerians think. But if y'all don't think like that, why the fuck would you put it in the show? Ugly ass bitch. These hoes be trying to come over here and be smart and be cute. But remember, she's on this podcast with Godfrey, the other thumbhead Tether, and herself. And Tariq is checking her and the nigga next to him, but ain't got nothing to say to Godfrey.
then I had the other character, Gloria, the African-American nurse, say, you're talking nonsense.
Yeah.
If you get stopped by the police, you think they're going to go, oh, I'm from Benin City. You're still black. It don't make no difference. So I had the other character counteract that. But what happened was people took just my character's part of it and edited out the African-American character. And we look at what this woman's written about African-Americans. She hates us, these Africans. And I'm like, you got to watch the whole scene and you'll see that the African-American rebuts what she's saying and makes her look stupid. Like, come on. But I was trying to start these discussions.
So
African-Americans.
So what if I went to Africa, moved there, and created a studio, and I create a show where my show is talking about how Black Americans think that Africans are dirty and they be having flies and big bellies and they live in huts. But yet I have an African on there to say that's not true. How you think Africans would take me? Girl, they will run me up out of there because it's passive aggressiveness. What she want to say is what she said, but she's trying to hide it by using correction. I went and found the clip. Hold on. You know I went and found it. Stay right there to give y'all more of what was happening in the clip. Now, the mama in the clip is played Will Smith mama. This is, y'all remember her? She played Will Smith mama on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Check the clip out so y'all can see exactly what they talking about.
But if I were to marry again, it will only be to a Nigerian man.
Only? That kind of narrows down your options, doesn't it? Don't listen to her. She has many options. Top of the list, Nigerian man, same tribe.
Yoruba.
Then Nigerian man, different tribe.
Igbo.
Then other Africans. Then Caribbean. Then white. Then African American. Then African American.
Wait. So a black man is last on your list? Below white men?
You get it.
I get that you full of crap. All you Africans think you better than us. Well, what?
You don't make it easy for yourselves.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, come on. Gangbangers, welfare stamps, the baby mamas.
You heard the end? You don't make it easy on yourself. She said, you Africans think y'all better than us. She said, well, you don't make it easy on yourself. And she said, what you mean? She says, gang banging, baby mamas, as if they don't have all of the baby mamas over in Nigeria. This is what the lady was talking about. And this is also what Tariq is addressing. Now, mind you, Tariq is addressing the woman, but he addressed everybody on that podcast except Godfrey.
Out of that stuff. And Gina Yashire is a comedian. She's LGBT. She's a stud. Okay. So we see how Hollywood would elevate that. But on that show, Bob and Abishola, there were a lot of jabs at foundational Black Americans on that show. Yeah, I didn't think the show was funny at all. It wasn't a funny show at all. I'm like, who is this show for? This show was for white people.
Listen, I don't even need to go in further. We already heard Tariq basically say that he's not going to say anything to Godfrey because Godfrey has been nice to him. Godfrey has been cool to him. Even though Godfrey hosts a space that allows Africans to come on his podcast and say all kind of disparaging and disgusting things about the very foundational Black Americans that Tariq claimed to love. Now, if you are an FBA, if you identify yourself as an FBA, I would ask you to ask yourself, if this man was really on our side, why wouldn't he take our side in a space like this? Why wouldn't he call his partner or say something? He refuses to say something, and I'm going to give you why my opinion is. It's because they work for the same people. These people get orders. They are told what they can and can't do, what they can and can't say, and who they can and can't do and say about. And I believe that Tariq Nasheed, that's why he runs to Africa annually. I believe that him and Godfrey somehow have the same boss. And I know y'all might say that don't make sense, Boo, because he goes off on Africans. Y'all have no idea the way this stage play works. They don't give a fuck about y'all going off on no Africans. Quiet as it's kept, they don't even give a damn about niggas going off on white folks. I told y'all, race is a poor man's game. That's for poor niggas. Race is for poor people. We talking about status here. The people who in charge of these niggas run shit. They don't give a damn about them talking about each other, but they give them orders because they understand that certain things have to happen in order for something later to happen. Remember, they play chess. Y'all playing tic-tac-toe. So they don't mind Godfrey coming on here, having the 154 podcast and having these tethers drag for Black Americans. They don't mind Tariq Nasheed having his whole doggone platform where he drag for tethers and drag for Africans because they have a bigger picture here. And this is why I don't want no friends in the industry. Because if you fuck up, I want to be able to freely come on here and say, you a damn fool. When y'all get to getting these people, I'm telling you, you know who a motherfucker work for by who they can't talk about. You can tell who a motherfucker work for by who they can and can't talk about. A lot of people in the comments were very upset with Tariq. We can go through some of the comments right quick if you want to. A lot of them people were so upset with Tariq. Damn near 95% of the people in the comments said the exact same thing, which was, Tariq, you out of pocket. Godfrey shouldn't get a pass, brother. He's passive-aggressive tether. Godfrey does not get a pass to disrespect an entire lineage because he's cool with one FBA. Tariq is a walking fine line trying to defend the flip-flopping weasel. Facts. Godfrey is two-faced. He goes for Black Americans when he's alone and laughing at us when his brethren is on his podcast. Godfrey has been no better than his African guests on the show, and he must be called out. Whether we're cool with him or not, no passes should be given to any African in the USA. Weak sauce for not holding people you're cool with accountable. Godfrey is respectful to you, but not FBA. Make that make sense. Godfrey being pleasant to you is co-signing his aggressive, trying to be seeming a passive and anti-FBA sentiment. He does this on every single episode of his African show, and when someone as public as you condone it, it's because he has an individualized, great relationship with you, empowers his disrespect for us. Very disappointing. I'm rolling. Be careful, Tariq. You gave James Smalls the same pass you gave Godfrey, and Smalls doubled down on his disrespect. Godfrey may be cool with you, but that doesn't change the rest of his lineage when we see him. Look at what he's continuously promote on his show through his guests. Shake my head. Oh, well, I'm tired. Tariq, you my guy, but giving Godfrey a pass for being a double agent tether isn't looking good, my brother. Y'all get it? Y'all get it? So I'm not saying nothing more than what y'all thinking, the FBA. Y'all thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, but y'all not gonna say it because y'all not me. I ain't scared of nobody. Y'all just refuse to say it. Your leader slip is showing. His slip is showing. Godfrey don't get no pass. Godfrey don't get no pass. He hosts a podcast that literally hones these people to come over here and drag for Black America. No one man is bigger than the group. I'm on my oldest shit with the Temptation. Nobody is bigger than the group. Not me, not Tariq, not Dane. Nobody is bigger than the group. That's just how I feel. You know, everybody different, but I don't think one person is bigger than the group. And if one thing affects the group, that one thing got to go. Godfrey is the one thing that affects the group. But your leader, Tariq, claims that that's his partner. So he gets to continue to host his space day in and day out, where these people going to continue to come on here and drag for Black America. And the more y'all talk to Tariq about it, he going to cuss y'all ass out, because he don't want y'all to keep having to put him in compromising situations to where he got to drag his co-workers. Oops. Like I said, stop looking for leaders and allies, Black America. You your own leader and you your own ally. You don't need Tariq and you don't need that nigga Godfrey. You don't even need me. All you need to do is get outside, ground, meditate, pray, and become your own leader and your own ally. And then we're going to all find like-minded individuals, and we're going to create new communities and whole new situations. Stop looking for leaders. And just because people funny don't mean nothing. That's how they get you. That's why they get the plants they get. They get the ones that most of us gonna like. Does that make sense? Please, y'all, make sure y'all using y'all discernment when you're dealing with this stuff. But nah, that told me a lot about Tariq. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of Black America won't say it out loud because y'all don't want to feel like the odd man out. But I know y'all look at that nigga different. I know you do. Come in the comments and drag me all you want. Don't give a fuck. When you finish typing your comment in the comment, I know good and fucking well you agree with everything I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying is true. Okay? Thank you so much for the super chat, KK4796. She says, Issa Rae need to be checking this British stud. I'm a stud, but I digress. I'm so tired of the soft puppet regardless of orientation. I don't even think it had nothing to do with her being a stud. It's her African. It's her being an African putting out that content she was putting out over there. It ain't got nothing to do with her being a stud. Studs don't do nothing to nobody. It ain't got nothing to do with being no stud. It's her being an African. And not just being an African. Her being an African, putting that rhetoric out there that she put out. Thank you, Trey, for the super chat. I'm sorry. Says, I'm convinced 154 podcast is a part of a larger propaganda. Damn. There you go. Absolutely right. Larger propaganda scam. We need to launch platforms debunking their talking points and explain their lies. Exactly. That's why I come on here every day and debunk everything that I can. Again, I'm just a small person, but that's all we can do is get together and start creating platforms to debunk the lies that they're putting out. Because remember, Black America, we are living in history. In 50 years or 100 years, them people gonna want to look back to 2026 and say, what the fuck was going on? The same way y'all look back to 1926, the same way y'all look back to 1826, the same way y'all look back to 1726, and so on and so forth. In 100 years, somebody's gonna look back today to 2026 to find out what the fuck is going on. And that's why it is imperative that we use our platforms to come on here and spread the truth. Rather it be against skin folk or kin folk, it don't matter. Because whenever they look me up, they gonna see that I was on the right side of this shit. I ain't here to convince nobody today. I keep telling y'all, most of my podcasts ain't for today. It's for tomorrow. I ain't here to convince nobody or nothing today. Those with eyes to see will see, and those with ears to hear will listen. I ain't here to convince nobody shit. In 100 years, when they come back and do this research, yeah, I know they're gonna write good on me. Now they gonna drag me, but they're gonna write good on me too. You got to know it. I'm carving my name out in history. I know what I'm doing, okay? Nicole Smith 4220, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry for being a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. She says, I'm so tired of non-black groups speaking on us. Go sit down and eat your food in peace. White folks are mad about the boycott, but won't support. Exactly. Listen, everybody's whole life is on us. Everybody pay attention to us because without us, they are nothing, okay? That's why they're going to create these podcasts to do what they doing and say what they saying. And that's why we're going to be up here looking crazy. Yeah, don't worry about it, dude. Long as we over here debunking and doing our part, we are good. Ground, meditate, and pray, man. This is heavy spiritual warfare. Sultry Sag 4784. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, love you, Vu. Do you remember in the 90s? It was popular for us to wear all African clothes and jewelry. Yeah. But they rejected and told us that's not our culture. You know what? I'll raise you and do you one better. Not only do I remember that, I remember we introduced the dashiki to them because they wasn't wearing that. Even though in 2026, they like to take the kente cloth and claim it as theirs, they didn't make that. We popularized that. We did that. We did that. In the 80s and the 90s. They didn't start wearing that shit till we wore it. So I do remember when we was wearing the shit, they was telling us we looked as stupid because we ain't African. Now that's all they got to wear. Crazy world, huh? Crazy, crazy world. Thank you so much for the super chat, boo. Tamiko Simone, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, my son is going to gene therapy. He gone through the collection of stem cells, went well, but I'm having second thoughts about the chemo. Oh, you got to do chemo? They told me one treatment. Now we a week away, and it turned into 3 days of it. Oh my God. I am so sorry to hear that, Tamiko. I am so sorry. My thoughts and prayers are with you and your son. I am so sorry to hear that. It's going to get better. Just keep praying, grounding, meditating, talking to the ancestors and to the Most High. Just keep praying, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Y'all get the likes up. Sexy ARN1, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Thank you. CC Spears, thank you for the super chat. Says, I saw on another platform that Carmelo was a crisis actor. Also showed a side-by-side of he and Trayvon Martin. Probably. Listen, man, I be questioning everybody. He could be a crisis actor. He might not even be real. I ain't want to say it because y'all already say I go as far. But that little boy might not even be real. Who knows? You know? It's 2026. I'm telling you. Who knows? Thank you so much, CC. I appreciate you. Nikki P, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, when will you have a show on people with sickle cell? I read that one. I think I got one more super chat to read before I hop up off of here. Dear Nicole 65, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I just had a major download the other day that opened my eyes to people that are very close to me. That statement that no one person is bigger than the group hit different when you really look around. Facts. Because that is what it is. Remember, if we're trying to make it past this thing as a collective, then just like Otis said with the Temptations, there can't be no one person bigger than the group. And when you think about him saying that, the Temptation still is alive in 2026 and all them niggas is dead. So it would make sense to adopt that moniker and mentality, because even though every single original Temptation is dead, the group is still alive. That's why I use that term. No one man is bigger than the group, because if Godfrey being your partner gives him a pass, that literally can dismantle the group. And yeah, we can't have that. But with that being said, man, y'all keep y'all head on a swivel. And I said what I said on my Tariq Nasheed commentary. The nigga is giving agent tease, but he always have. But that's y'all partner, so I'll be wanting to back up off of him. But now I'm on his ass. Okay. With that being said, y'all, if y'all heard or learned anything over here, Please pay it forward. Help another Black American. Help them with something. I don't give a damn if it's identity or with groceries. Just help them with something. Love on each other. That's what we got to do. Find love. Ground, meditate, pray, and genealogy. Hit the link, Voodoo Doll TV Shop, voodoodolltvshop.com if you would like to support the doll. And I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm going live later on at the dollhouse, so y'all pull up. Peace.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go! It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat. You know what I want? Blaze up! Come on, blaze up!
It's the beat for me.
Wah 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are. For your boy, for your boy. Also for your boy. Mix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.